Ooh, Benny jumped on just in time.
Perfect timing, Mr. Ben.
Just barely.
There it is.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Free Casting with Chris, Benny, and Derek so far. I'm trying to be better at my intros. This week, we're going to talk about dog relationships. How's that? And I'm not talking about your ex-wife.
Between dogs or between people and dogs or?
Between people and dogs. We don't talk about that much. You know, we talk about dogs. Oh, hang on. I'm losing. I was locked my mic for a second. We talk about dog behavior, talk about people behavior, but we haven't really talked about
bringing the two together.
Yes. Hunter Biden says crack is better for you than alcohol. That might be true, because how many crack drivers be killing?
This
people?
Is a family show, Evan.
Oh. Well, Bonepile got smart and said he was. I got the first strike tonight, but I think Evans got the first hit. Let's see. I'm going through see who's on tonight. Bonepile, of course. He said he's sober. He must be broke.
Well, that'll keep his post down to a minimum.
I haven't had a beer in 3 weeks. I'm starting to remember who I actually am.
Job it earned.
Underachiever. Jeremy, I'm sitting in the truck soaking up the AC. Storm blew in and knocked the power out. We had I got a little bit of dribbles today. That's about it.
It just got hot for us. That's it. 110 or 111, something like that.
Yep, gave it up. Time to move on to crack. There you go, Bonepile. That'll make you smart.
It'll make you something.
Jeremy's after you, Derek. Derek is hung up on the pricked-eared dogs.
I just like him. Hey, that's the best dog I got right there. He did more work than all the rest of them last year. He is slightly older than all the rest of others. Mm-hmm. He's the only one I got that's had his second birthday. But
so what's going on, Benny? You've been busy.
Working.
Busy. Every time I call you, you're working on that. What you're working on?
Yeah.
Are you gonna tell anybody? You want to tell anybody what it is, or are you gonna wait?
My new endeavor, because I fell down in a pile of rocks, and I must have hit my head and been out for a month or so. I'm not sure because it's all a blur. When I came to, I thought, I'm bored. I should earn some more fishing money.
Yeah.
And so I bought a food trailer.
So let's spend a lot of money to earn a little money.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're hemorrhaging money right now. I mean, bad.
Your tree's almost bare out back, ain't it?
Oh crap. The hole is getting so deep that I disappear when I go to digging for more.
Look at Jeremy. Mouths aren't bad. Coming from a cop.
She's turning out okay. She's still young yet, and I've only had her a couple of weeks, but she's doing all right.
Quick.
Yeah, but only me though. She's real funny. But when I get a new one, especially one of those, they don't eat nothing that don't come out of my hand for like the first month or two.
We're not just about hounds. Tell us about your little project you started since you had nothing else better to do in the summertime.
I'm training a detection dog.
Mm-hmm.
A detection dog?
Yes, sir.
What are you detecting?
We haven't decided yet. She can go either way. I just don't know if I'm going to do drugs or explosives with it.
There's more money.
AC/DC? This is an AC/DC dog? It goes either way?
She just isn't trained yet. I haven't picked what I'm going to put her on yet. I think she's good enough for drugs or money or whatever, but explosives are easy. Anything can spell explosives. But I don't know which way I'm going to take her. I might put feelers out there here and see what's going to be the most needed.
I was just wondering, what's the dog's name? Brittany?
Piper.
Oh, that's not even close to Brittany Griner because that's AC/DC there too. But Brittany Griner knows what it's like to be Russian.
That is true. After that Russian, Benny texted me today and said we're going to start a GoFundMe to get you to Russia.
Hey, I'm gonna try to go next year and hunt bears. Yeah,
No,
next year.
go ticket so that you can stay there and hunt bears.
Well,
No,
I'll chip in for a one-way ticket.
Hey, I can almost read. I'm working on it a little bit every day. I can almost read. I can
You
halfway
don't have
read.
to read. You don't have to read to chase bears.
Mm-mm.
Well, no, but I can learn
Look
to
at
talk
Jeremy.
better if I can read better. I can learn to speak it better. Because
Well, good luck for that. Because have you ever looked at the Russian language?
yeah, I can about halfway read. I just can't. I don't know
doesn't
all
have letters.
my. Well, yeah, it does. It's just a different alphabet.
Oh, well, I guess that's like all of these boneheads we got telling us the news. They don't know that the letter T makes the T sound. In their alphabet, it's Q R S U V W X Y Z. That's why they say mountain.
Like a third of the
And-
letters make the same sounds as ours. Like the A is still like an A. O is kind of like an O. K is like a K.
Hey,
C
the
sounds like,
the Spanish G is no different.
yeah, like some of it's a little bit funny. There
It's
is
not
some
Guadalajara. It's Guadalajara.
there is some hieroglyphic-y stuff. Like F is pretty funny looking, or like J, that's a letter, and it looks like X's with a circle, and yeah. But
There's Mr. Anderson chiming in on that dog.
There you go.
I knew
See?
he was coming in.
Scent Logics.
And you can, every time you find some crack with your dog, you can sell it to Bone Pile.
We're gonna bring Bone Pile to the rendezvous and we're gonna check it out, see if it works. There's no money. You know where the money's at? Train it to find antlers. That stuff's up to like $14, $15, $18 a pound.
Really?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep.
I need to just train it to find money and just walk it around in 36 till I get my retirement found under a bush.
Well, what you need to do is put a chip reader on its nose. When it goes up, sniffs everybody's butt and wallet. That's what they're doing now anyways. They walk by and they're making wallets now that protect. You can't read that.
Yeah, mine does. Mine's like
crazy
that.
Mm-hmm.
Had that.
I keep
RF
mine in my
locker or
front
whatever.
pocket. So if they're rubbing on my front, they're gonna get a surprise. Not a very
I
big one.
got mine in my bag a lot, like in my
Mhm.
chest bag, like outside of my pistol.
There you go. Look
That's
at that,
called-
Derek.
That's a man.
In
purse.
Louisiana, you can sell your dope dog for $12,500.
That's kind of the plan. I got the last one I did is in a sheriff's department in Missouri, but it's a little tiny department. They don't need another one anytime soon. But she turned out pretty good.
There you go.
All
Anyways,
right,
how's
what
the?
have you been up to, Chris?
Honestly, PI stuff. I just had someone call me out of Texas, and they got some stuff in Arizona, so I'm gonna do some work for them. And they're kind of some famous people. Been on talk shows and all kinds of good stuff.
Oh my goodness, look at there. You're hanging
Hopefully,
out
I
with
can
Squid.
impress them, do my job.
There you
So,
go.
yeah.
I've been trying to get us some stuff for the rendezvous, but these fellas are just, we're not fancy enough for all the guys I've been talking to.
What do you mean?
I
Get
got-
you some stuff. You know, there's no dog training for drug sniffing at the rendezvous.
No.
No, but I've been
that's-
trying to get, like sponsorships and everything, but we're not fancy enough, I guess. I don't know. They stopped talking to me about halfway through it.
Brandon been doing pretty good on getting stuff from Onyx and all these other places. I have ordered the belt buckle. It should hopefully be here by then. What else do I got?
Nice.
Trying to get a generator. Brandon's trying to get cowboy poet guy to show up. Mike, he hadn't called me back. Mike Leonard. I'd like to get him there. You guys got to go sign up for that dinner, though. By the 15th of August would probably be our deadline. We might sneak a few in after. But go to azhhr.com. And the guys from Tennessee, how do I get rid of that? Go away. Bought 2 tickets So maybe we'll do something with those 2 tickets. He said I can give them away or whatever, raffle them off. But and he said if we could figure out a way to ship Shine over here, he would do it. Tennessee. Where are those boys from? Tennessee, I think. My bad.
That's what you said.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Is it Kentucky or Tennessee?
Well, they're close enough together and skinny enough. It don't make too much difference.
Either way, some good Shine.
Yeah.
Where's Brandon tonight? Where is?
He probably went to dinner or something. Forgot what day it was.
He said he was going to be on. He said he bought a cigar that's going to last 2.5 hours, so he's good the whole night.
Oh, you got them high dollar cigars.
That's what he said.
I
got fancy ones.
I got them cheap Johnnies, but it's too hot to smoke because I got to be inside. I'm melting out there.
This weekend, I was trying to make this. I really was, but it's a 10-hour drive from me.
Yeah.
9-something. So it's a 10-hour drive from me. And I got a big case I just kind of picked up for this weekend. And I have my grandson's birthday party this weekend, too. So
I was going to try to go, but if I go to that, I ain't going to be able to do nothing on the opener, and I ain't trying to do that. So
yeah. And then we have, if any of you guys in Arizona want to go hit some hound trials, you got the Central Arizona Trail Hound Association, CATHA. That's pretty cool. Brandon showed up this week. And Sunday, late, of course, driving 100 miles an hour. But that's pretty good for kids. Really good for kids. So they do a water race, team tree, single tree. They do coon drag, bear drag, line drag, and 100-yard dash on Saturday. And then I don't know why. I do know why this ain't so famous, because a lot of these young guys don't know who Marvin Glenn is, or even know who Warner Glenn is probably. But we got this magazine where this is all one package for the raffle. If you guys want to enter the raffle, go to azwda.com and go to the raffle page. So we got this Marvin Glenn Arizona Highways 1949 issue.
That's cool.
And then Kelly Glenn threw in The Legend and Times of Warner Glenn. I think it's signed, pretty sure.
That's an extremely good book.
Yes. We have a big poster of the Jaguar he caught.
That's the second one right there.
Yep. And then does he have a picture of the first one?
Yes, there's a picture of it's out on a big open rock. That's the first one, Eyes of Fire.
Oh.
And that book is put in there too.
Yes, this book is put in there, signed. Western Horseman magazine, article about him, signed. What else we got? Oh, there. What is this? That's the first one?
No, that's the second one.
That's the second one. All right. So that's the poster. You got a poster and that. I think what is that, the magazine? Yeah, that's inside that magazine. I think that's the Western Horseman, ain't it?
Chris, let me interrupt you right quick.
Go ahead.
When are the dates for the rendezvous exactly?
August. Let me put it up while I talk about it. August 22nd.
No, 20.
No, that's, you have to have the dinner deadline is 15th. August 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. There are those guys. Oh, they were probably sweet talking each other before they got on, is what it was.
More than likely.
Do what?
No,
I just talked to you enough. I don't need to hear your first 10 minutes.
Is that what it is?
Spiel. Yeah, you yelled at me enough about this stuff going on here.
Yeah. So August 22nd, 23rd, 24th. And me and Brandon were talking about it. That spot we're at is 400 miles from that wilderness right there. Or 400 yards from that wilderness right there. You could literally walk over to the wilderness and hunt or ride your mule.
Tell me the website again.
azhhr.com is the website. Or you can go to azwda.com as well and find it. And that will take you to the dinner website. Pick and Shovel, PIC, and Shovel, houndoutfitters.com if you want to order the dinner. But they all have links.
Oh,
and for the rendezvous, if you know anybody who wants to donate something for Raffle, or anybody wants to throw in to maybe sponsor a dog barrel that we're going to pack full of stuff that you sponsor.
We got some good companies throwing in. Just a little teaser, Onyx and marsupial gear. There's some great companies that are pitching in for some items for that. We got a lot of good companies that are going to be throwing in some really good gear. Just get there and you'll see.
Cold Strike will be set up there.
Oh, he gone.
I guess not.
He said hell does.
Nope. I ordered a belt buckle, and I AI'd one to try to get the girl an idea. They can't get it done in the 3 weeks I need it done, 4 weeks, but they are making a belt buckle pretty simple for the rendezvous that will raffle off. And this is what I wanted. Something like this.
Similar,
or like this without
that one's a bit more accurate.
Yeah, I kind of like that one. Besides the Huntress, I don't know why that came up, but AI, man.
Yeah. How many toes
this
that dog got?
This looks more like a saber-toothed tiger.
Yeah.
It does, doesn't it?
So I wanted to get a belt buckle made, and they're going to make us a 2025 Arizona Hound Hunters Rendezvous belt buckle. We're going to raffle that one off, put it in the raffle. Plus, if you want to order one, we'll get you one ordered. So, Derek's watch he built. It's a self-winding watch. That's the back of it, see-through. Mm-hmm. It's hard to get a picture of this watch.
I sent you another.
That's a good one right there.
I sent you another picture just before we started too.
You can kind of see the AWDA in there on the bottom and the little paw print in the middle. Mm-hmm. It's a really cool watch.
Yeah.
Derek tried to hold it up, but the green screen caught it.
Yeah, it gets green screened real bad when I do it. See. It done.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
erases
there you go.
It real quick.
Let me upload this.
Yeah,
so when we've been talking, I've sent some emails out to Whitaker's and see if anybody wanted to throw in some stuff but this is our second year, and this is a little bit more organized, except I kind of dropped the ball on it and should have been doing it since January. So I am
just going to keep getting better. It's
just going to keep getting better.
We're just hound hunters, we got a trial and error before we learn our lessons. We like to learn the hard way. So.
I had a guy from Texas call me Saturday, and he's coming out. So bringing 4 people.
Hell yeah.
So it'll be a good time if you guys want to hang out all week and hunt. It's kind of why I did it. Everybody's like, oh, I'm hunting or I'm this and that, but what better way to have a rendezvous? And if you guys want to come out and sell a mule or sell a dog, what better way to get it under a tree to somebody?
Do it on the mountain. Yep. Show them the mule on the mountain and the dog under a tree. And
There's wilderness 400 yards away.
Yep.
Right out of camp, quarter mile, you're hunting.
Yep.
So, and I bet you.
Yeah, and Arizona non-resident hunting license are cheap compared to other states. So
$300 for a bear, another $100.
Not even
$400 bear. Well, even. It's $150.
It's $100. It's $200, and it's like I think $310 total for the bear tag, and then you can get $75 on top for the non-resident lion tag.
Yeah. Did they go up?
No.
I thought bear was $150 plus your hunt license is
$160 for the license because you have to buy the combo. They have to buy that non-resident combo license if you're. They don't let you just buy a hunting license as a non-resident. It's kind of a goofy deal. You got to go find a hold a fish somewhere that Good luck.
Casey, I'll tell Casey to stock that little pond he was digging out when I was down there.
Yeah.
Put some goldfish in it. Well, you got Roosevelt Lake right there, 50 miles away.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know.
If you wanted
who fishes anymore unless when you got dogs and stuff. It's like it's hard to find time to do both, and if you want to be a good fisherman, it's an investment. And I feel like all the guys who really catch stuff in Arizona got boats, and that's a little out of my repertoire right now for having the time to have a boat. That's for sure.
You know what I've seen when a houndsman when a houndsman gets out of hounds, it's kind of crazy. I've known a few of these guys who got out of hounds and they become professional fishermen. And then if you see
Benny, you hiding your face over there?
Yeah, he is. If you see a lot of you'll see a lot of in the summer, a lot of these houndsmen are out there fishing. So
yep. Yeah. I mean, I've seen guys pull some huge trout out of some of these lakes. I mean, Arizona's got some monster fish that I didn't realize that they did have, but I don't know. I mean, if I ever find the time, I'll get after it. But
try to download that. Yeah, I got a better picture of that watch if I can get it downloaded.
If I decide I want to go fishing, I'll just go fishing in July or something.
I found when I had hounds, I didn't have time to do anything but take care of my hounds. Hunt my hounds, exercise my hounds, talk to my hounds. And so.
Well, here we go.
Yeah, and then you add livestock on top of that, and you got to keep them, keep them in shape and keep them fed and keep fences checked and all that stuff and whatnot, and so there's a lot of tasks to go around right now.
I think that's what those guys were from Tennessee. Thank you, Jeremy. Oh, if I decide to come out, I can bring the moonshine.
Bring it.
That's good to know. Oh,
come
man.
on out, Rick.
Benny, how good's that shine?
Don't be teasing us, Rick. I don't like a tease.
Oh, yeah. Let me see here. Have you not tried massing this dog up? You've had it, Chris? How's that dog act? No, I don't. I'm not taking that dog out. That my luck, he'll fall off a cliff. The master will be mad at me. That's the Lions Brandon hunts.
Which ones? Those goofy ones?
Them saber-toothed tigers, I bet.
Oh, yeah.
I'm way behind on comments.
Got them cold-nosed dogs, huh?
Go in these canyons, find them old those things that have been living in there for the last 20 years.
Does that Rolex come with the real numbers? Absolutely. They're absolutely 24 karat gold.
Backwards 5.
Mm-hmm.
Something other.
What's on season, or is it just a running? No, it's everything. Bear, lion, and deer open up that Friday on the 22nd over the counter.
If you're non-resident, you'd have had to get a non-resident, whatever it is that they do now. They're gone. So don't plan on hunting deer if you don't got a deer.
Oh, wait, on the deer?
Yeah, you can't hunt deer if you don't got a tag already.
Really?
Non-residents, they got the tags are sold out.
Oh, just for non-residents?
Yeah, they put a cap on them so they can't. You have to call basically that day. It's like just like every other state. You got to get on the phone. You got to get on the computer. Whatever it is, you got to get your tag at the day that they release the licenses, or else you're basically SOL as far as the over-the-counter stuff.
But does that pertain to people that don't ever get a license anyway?
Yes, if you wait a minute. Damn, you tricked there, Benny.
He was going for it too.
Yeah. You got me.
Come out of that rabbit hole. We try. I even told Brandon, don't let it just keep us out of the rabbit hole. But we got to talk about the rendezvous.
Yeah, but at that time, bear will be in, lion will be in, and squirrel is in some units. I don't know if it's in all units yet.
Is it?
But
no, I don't know if it.
30. What is it? I have to check. 30. There's one unit that don't never close. Squirrel don't. I just looked at it the other day. There's one unit squirrel stays open year round because they have too many in that whatever that forest is.
Yeah.
So that's what's open for a dog hunter, anyways, at that time.
Yep.
Yeah. Bobs don't come in till later.
Yeah, it's the September, isn't it?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm trying to find a video when I took Stinker this weekend. Well, you were there, Brandon, when you said, "Is that your dog out there?"
Yeah, treating squirrels.
She'll sit there at camp and she'll just watch. And when she sees squirrel move, she's gone.
She's a cool dog. Did you dock that dog's tail?
Yeah, I try
Okay.
to dock all my dogs' tails. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
That she's a cool dog that she just hangs around like that. It's like kind of weird because she got that cow dog in her, so she don't mind being around people and stuff like that. But other than that, she don't bother nobody or nothing. She's just kind of hanging around.
Yep. No, he says she just hangs around because I just kind of let her loose in camp. Problem is sometimes she goes over there, and everybody there, they got people that have some Queenslands that run around and they'll kind of pick at each other. That's about it. The only thing I hate about dogs running around is the males and they'll come piss all over your stuff. What will the weather be like those 4 days?
It'll be exactly 82 degrees every single day.
It's about 5,000 feet elevation.
Yeah, it's cooler up there. It won't be bad.
It's not that warm. Especially mornings. Mornings are nice. It's nice here. It's always nice until about 11:30. You can do just fine. If you have to push it till 1, and as long as you're in the timber, you're all right.
I was on the hound trials this weekend. It was pretty chilly.
Yeah, it was nice actually over there. It was real nice.
Yeah, so it could be 60 degrees. It could be raining. You never know in Arizona.
Yeah.
We've been getting quite a bit of rain so far. It's been good. Hopefully it continues.
I haven't gotten nothing.
Yeah, Brandon's
in the
in a
last
drought.
couple weeks. Just dry.
Oh, that's tough, bud.
Yeah, we're just choking on dust over here, but mules are still grazing, so it's saving me money. It's all good.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeremy's seen her jump out my window at 35 to get a squirrel. She's a heck of a locator. I tell you what, though.
Oh, yeah.
She's a good locator. She'll find them up in the. So she was barking over there, and everybody's kind of doubting her ability. And my dad walked over there and said, "Man, I'll be damned. You had a big old squirrel up in that tree." And she sees it from camp. She'll sit right there on that road, and she won't go unless there's something there. But bad thing is sometimes it's 5 a.m, and sometimes it's 7 at night. So.
So what?
Dustin, you'll be there, rendezvous, correct?
Yep.
And you'll be set up.
Yes, I will. You guys like my cool ass little chair?
I was gonna say it's
Is
a
that
nice
like a zero gravity chair or something?
I thought it was a sex swing or something.
Dustin forgot what podcast he was on.
We're stuck in this Airbnb for 2 weeks,
This
waiting
ain't
for the
raw
next
dog.
place to be ready. So they have this little shed out back. They call it the Zen Den. It's got a sauna.
Oh, I forgot.
So
Yep.
it's got this little chair in here that I'm just like, yeah, I can out here for a minute.
Sit in there and eat some granola,
Oh yeah, dude, they got towels, they got weights, they got affirmations on the wall.
You're feeling very zen right now. I could tell.
Oh, yeah.
You're the master of your own destiny, Dustin.
Yeah. Something like
I
that.
forgot he wasn't at his house anymore.
Hey, Chris.
Well, you're a little bit out of the heat at least, so life's probably a little bit better.
Dude, it's so nice up here.
Yeah.
Big
difference.
I had to go down to Phoenix today to see the back doctor, and it was 113. That was stupid.
Yeah, it's no fun, you guys. No fun.
I was talking to a guy yesterday out in South Georgia, and he said it was 110 degrees with 100% humidity there. Yeah. And I about choked just listening to that. I don't know how people even breathe in that type of air. I don't know what you're supposed to do in that. Like at least in the dry heat, you can go in the shade and you're out of it. It can be 120, but you're in the shade and at least you feel, a little breeze hits in. You're like, wow, it's cool again. You can't escape humidity. It swallows you.
Oh no.
Hey, Chris, look at your text messages.
He's slow, Benny. He's real slow.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to be professional.
I know. So, anyways, that rendezvous is going to be a good time. I think it'll be. Last year was great. It was just a show up. We'll figure it out. We'll fly by the seat of our pants. This year will be a little better. We'll have some stuff set up. We'll have some AWDA merch that can be there, and I'll have some stuff there as well.
Well, Mike Leonard may show up.
Ooh, there we go.
No.
Benny's been calling in favors, it sounds like.
Well, he don't know me worth crap. You know what I mean? And I just kind of went up to him there and talked to him. Like, you know who you talked to? And I wish I would have met, and that's Troy Biddle.
I talked to Troy quite a bit.
I didn't know he was there. he said something. Oh, that's cool. And then I said, were you there? He goes, yeah, I said, man, I didn't even see you there.
Yeah, I talked to him quite a bit.
I know, that's what he said. So, anyway. So, I will get hold of Mike Leonard and get it scheduled up.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
That'll be
enough
cool.
whiskeys that I go up and play guitar with Mike, and we'll start yodeling for everybody. It's gonna be good old
There we
time.
go. I don't know if there's enough whiskey.
That's going to be Sunday night, Brandon. That's going to be Sunday night. The rendezvous is Sunday night. So that'd be a cool deal. Get Mike there. You always worry, and I don't know what I'm doing. I got a big whiteboard here that's full of stuff and trying to get people to, donate. I got some friends in Discount Tire. I still got to call. I got to run up to Harbor Freight tomorrow. So, because their discretion, at the management's discretion there.
Yep.
I know they've donated before, and we all need tools. I know we all got dog trucks.
Oh, yeah.
I was trying to get the one guy that built our dog box, because he's finishing up Robert's dog box, but he had moved to Texas. So I don't think it's going to work out. So I need to be nice to find somebody to build a dog box to raffle off, or somebody to that builds dog boxes to bring a couple there. You never know.
Yeah.
I got one I can donate, actually. I just remembered. It's nothing super fancy, but I'd donate it for a kid. If 16, 17-year-old kid wants it, I'll donate it. We can raffle it off. It's a pretty solid box. So
yeah,
we can raffle it off. And
I could probably build a little one first. So side by sides, I don't know what size their boxes are. They're all kind of different. So
yeah. I mean, it just depends on, everybody's got a little bit different. This one that I got, it'll fit in a standard size pickup, and I got little legs welded on it, so it just kind of slides in, so it sits over
like a coffin box.
Yeah, kind of. It's got it's welded with.
Oh, there he went.
Yeah, throwing gang signs and stopped.
Yeah.
I bet you his phone died.
He gone.
Look at Evan. Call Old South dog boxes.
I'll have Brett give him a call.
That'll go for well.
I don't think they could get me one in a few months. 3 weeks is better than 6 weeks.
Not unless it's a generic one, but
there he is.
He just needed a different angle.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
He wanted to smoke his cigar.
For anybody,
anyway, anything else? Anything else before we get going out of the rabbit hole?
I was just going to say, for anybody that has never seen Mike and Bobby Nell Leonard with their singing and their poetry and their little stories and stuff, that'd be worth the trip, just that alone. If we can get it all arranged.
Be really cool if they show up.
He did tell me that they have Saturday open. They could be there Saturday. Well,
that's when everything happens, is Saturday.
Yeah.
So maybe text him and say A-OK.
Okay.
I just send me his. I sent your number to him. He asked for your number, Chris.
Oh, okay.
So I sent him your contact information.
He did.
So what's our topic for the night, Mr. Christopher?
Relationship between dogs, your hounds, your whoever dogs, and we talk about how dogs act different, right? With other people. Sometimes you get a bad dog, it could go to someone else, and all of a sudden it does good, or vice versa. I sold a guy a dog, and he brought back and said he didn't do nothing. I caught a bobcat a week later. So tell everyone when they can show up. You can show up anytime. I'm going to go down Wednesday. So this time it's different than last year. Last year it was last minute. We couldn't get in till Saturday after 11 because someone rented the spot. This time it's a gated little area, but we have the code to get in the gate. It's where forestry and fire stage for fires.
Yeah.
So,
and I'll be there from Wednesday. My wife and I will be there Wednesday through Sunday too. So if anybody, you guys come along and come hang out, and we can help you out getting set up and stuff like that. No problem.
I'll be there Thursday.
And we can stay all week if you want. So it's all open. Good hunt. Anyway, the whole rendezvous thing, I don't want a banquet. Like, I don't want a banquet. I want a rendezvous. I want people to bring their dogs to trade or show somebody or sell, I
like that.
Whatever. I don't. The only reason that the dinner's happening is because Casey and Diane are like phenomenally just fabulous people. So they're setting it all up. Last year they did it $25. They're doing it $35 this week. I think we're going to set up a tip jar for them. We didn't know what we were doing.
Bring cash, no checks accepted.
Yeah.
Hey, you can bring a check. I can go on my phone and check that check real quick.
Well, it's easier to buy a dog under a tree with cash than it is a check.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you kind of look up old rendezvous. They just kind of showed up, traded women, traded furs, got drunk. I don't think I can say squad. And, a lot of them, and that's what the whole trade was. A lot of those guys had women from the tribes, and that's how they just started trading and all that. If you kind of look it up. I think it was 18, 30, 25 was the first rendezvous. Somewhere around there.
Was it
so that's kind of what I was going for, is a primitive style of, just to hang out, run some dogs,
Yeah.
Hopefully
not. Well, it's just a good old boy get together where if you want to buy something, great. If you don't, you're not there to buy something. It's like these expos and even like the auctions and stuff. They're kind of promoting you to go there and spend your money. We're just promoting a good old time with everybody there to share stories, talk about dogs, things like that. If you got some extra cash and you can convince somebody to sell you a dog, then great. Or if you can need an extra mule or something like that and somebody's got one and you like it a lot, then and you buy it, great. I'm guessing that Max will probably be there, and he's always got really great mules. There's always guys that are going to be there that are training mules or training dogs and running dogs all the time, and you might just, even if you don't buy something, you might just have a conversation and learn something. I know that's what I'm kind of going for, is to just pick everybody's brain and talk to everybody, learn a few things here and there, and go and meet some new folks, shake some hands, eat some good food, and maybe some 14-year-old bear meat, who knows, whatever we got going on there. And,
I think I'm out. Yeah. I just showed Brandon. Brandon showed up to my camp. I
just missed it. Dang it. Oh, no.
He did. I said, look, I had a lid off one of my cans. I made tacos that night.
2012 elk is what it said.
So this year it'll be 2013.
Yeah. Yep.
Nope.
It'll be a good time. I like harkening back to the old fur rendezvous. We just got to keep the drunk knife fights to a minimum. You know what I mean?
Just do rubber blades.
Speak for yourself. I'll have a vet come out.
Yeah.
On standby with a stapler.
Yeah, everybody's got a staple gun in camp. We ought to be all right.
Yeah, be fine.
I think I was talking to Brandon or Dustin. I think I'd love for people to make it to where just normal people would come over and kind of check it out, to where we could have a houndsman panel, or they can ask questions about what's going on, and we'll get some brochures and pamphlets printed up, and
a little bit of education going on. Yep.
But last year we got in at 11. Like, we were there 24 hours, Dustin? Like, it.
Yeah.
One day raised $2,000 for Colorado. Like, sitting around a horse trailer eating dirty stuff. Like, it was just, and it was very unplanned. And I liked that. I really liked it. That was the best time, was just sitting around BSing.
It's kind of funny because I guarantee you, the first time that a rendezvous was ever planned was basically just like that. A bunch of guys just happened to smash together in the same place because they had word that a bunch of folks were going to be there. They all got together and they said, shit, maybe next year we ought to bring some furs and we ought to bring some things to trade and yada, yada. And then it just kind of conspired into what it was, you know, and that's sometimes the natural and organic growth of something and start of something is the make of something that lasts forever because people are there because they want to be there, not because they have to be there.
Yep.
Yeah, and like, I think, you know, it's only going to keep getting bigger if we keep doing this. And like that time of year, you know, there's a lot of states that don't have anything to run. You know, you can't run your dogs in a lot of times in August in a lot of the states there. You know, maybe not right next door or whatever, but, you know, in a lot of places. And so it'll be nice for guys to come out, hang out, you know, enjoy some different country, meet some different people, and, you know, do something that we all enjoy.
Yeah, it's going to be a good deal.
Tim, I'm out of my 2010. I used that last rendezvous. And honestly, I think I'm out of everything. I think I'm on my 20s now. Sorry, guys. Y'all missed out.
Dang it.
Y'all missed out.
So as far as the topic for the night goes, talking about relationships with mules, horses, dogs, you know, handlers, all that stuff, and whatnot. Where do you want to kick off on?
You know, I'll tell a story about my mule. I got it free, and I don't think it acted right for who had it. You know, and I was kind of worried about it. When someone gives you something free, it's like, okay, we'll see what happens, right? And she was a little boogery at first, but after just a few months, I mean, I would literally not even step on her until I was by a hill. I'd walk her to a little upgrade, and I would step over her and just run up that upgrade. So I think she kind of learned, damn, man, if I don't behave, like, he's going to work the crap out of me. You know, like a horse that runs away. Everybody puts a bigger bit in his mouth. Why? I had a field, I had a big, huge 100-acre field that they dissed all the time out in front of my house. And when I had a runaway horse, like, didn't want to stop, I put a halter on him. And then I go out there, and he knew he didn't have nothing in his mouth. But I tell you what, you get a horse or a mule that wants to run away and you make them run away, it's like a teenager, right? Tell them to do the dishes, they don't want to. You make that horse running. Don't let him stop. Because if he has to work, then he starts learning, crap, man, if I want to run, he's going to run me till I'm like sweaty dying. And that's how I broke my runaway horses. But this mule, I mean, she's great. I have no problem with her at all. And we just get along. And I think it's a different relationship than she had. Maybe the guy pissed her off. You know how mules are and donkeys. I hit my donkey in the head with the hose the other day. I walked it over and I said, damn, man, I hope you don't remember that and try to bite me later on. You know, it was an accident, but I think the same with dogs, right?
Yeah. Sometimes the dog just don't suit you, or it does suit you. Like a dog that suits me, I'm sure most of you guys wouldn't like any of them dogs. You know, you wouldn't have one that I'd prefer, or vice versa. You know, just it's a dog will suit you or like you, you like it. It kind of, you know, it's all about that. And I think it has a lot to do with the time you spend with the dog. Like for me, for the way I like mine to handle, I hang out with them all the time. You know, they live in my house. They take turns hanging out, sitting in the bed with me or whatever. Like I get off this, I'll pull one out and we'll watch TV. Just hang out with them. It makes it, I don't know. They can be in mid trying to chew on something. I reach and grab them. I ain't gonna get no teeth, you know. It's just a comfort level thing. And I like to really push a young dog too. Like put them in a situation where they're either going to do it or they're not going to get anything done because they got no help. I really like singling them out. It seems to they'll either you know come out of their shell or they won't. But you go find out what you got quick that way. I like it. I think. Yep.
That makes sense right here, right? Crazy runs down the leash. Well, I mean, what do you get out of that? Like the dog reads you.
So yeah, like
if he's going to be an asshole.
Yeah, like if you're all jacked up and wild, then your dog is not going to be calm. Now you can take a scared handler and make a bite monster out of a calm dog, and vice versa. Like I can handle something that might come up the lead on another guy, and it just be a calm dog do its job. You know what I mean? It's a lot of that. Like that lead is like an umbilical cord.
Yep. Casey does not like bear meat. That's why all the comments about Casey, he says no bear meat. He will not eat bear meat.
Why not?
I don't know.
Will he eat a lion though? He'll eat a lion or a bobcat.
He'll eat lion, I think, but not bear meat. No, I think it's no different than a human. You know, there's people you meet sometimes and you just don't like them.
Yep.
You just don't like them. You know, and then there's some people you meet and you do like them, but that can kind of fade away too, because I have a dog, Halado, and I didn't like the dog. I don't know why. I just didn't like the dog. It's a puppy. And my wife kept telling me, you know, hey, just whatever. I gave a kid his sister that I was going to keep. And my wife said, no, keep that dog. Just try him. And I did. And I hated him. I hated how he ran. I hated how he looked. I hated how he ate. Like, it's just one of them dogs you just walk by and, like, push over. Like, get out of my way. But I tell you what, me and him get along now, and he's a good dog.
Mm-hmm.
But I just didn't like him. So when, you know, how long do you give a dog a chance? You know?
I think it varies. It varies between every handler and every dog. I mean,
yep.
Derek obviously is going to have a lot more patience maybe than I will, or vice versa. You know, it depends on the dog. And sometimes that dog, no matter what his abilities are, if him and I don't get along, it ain't going to work. He can be the nicest, one of the best dogs, but if every time I hunt him, I'm frustrated and pissed off, I'm not going to deal with him.
Yep.
Like it's very much whether you get along, how much time you can spend with him. Because if every time I hunt that dog, I'm nothing but pissed off and angry, I'm not going to deal with it. And it's no fault to the dog. It's just like people. Certain people I don't get along with, certain people I don't like, and there's certain people I'm gonna tell to fuck off. Like it's just that way. And so there are certain dogs that are not meant for everyone, and yet there are other dogs that can go hunt with anyone and be just fine. And there are dogs that are a one-person dog, plain and simple.
100%.
Richard, are you talking about Joe Hot? I know Joe Hot. I don't know. Joe Hot was there last year, and we did a little interview live with him.
Yeah, that was Joe Alfred.
Yeah, I don't know Alfred.
I don't either.
I just know Joe Hot.
I
hope he's there.
That would be a question for Casey.
Yeah.
Casey should know all those hots.
He's listening.
Casey's here.
I know.
Do you know anything about that, Casey?
So, but I had a dog that I hated like that and drove me crazy, but like I kind of forgave that because he had heart. The dude just worked. I mean, he worked. It's just I should have named him Lenny. I always tell everybody I should have named him Levy off of Mice and Men because he's dumb as a box of rocks, but he had heart. Yeah. I mean, he treed, he trailed.
I think there's something to that sometimes we don't take into account that maybe a dog just isn't meshing with your pack either. You know what I mean? It might not be you as a handler, but that dog being around certain other dogs that it just doesn't mesh with those other dogs, and for some reason it doesn't want to hunt with those dogs. Like the first time that Jared and I hunted together with all of our dogs and kind of mixed and mashed and stuff like that, my dogs were underperforming heavily because his dogs were taking a lot of the lead, and I was just like, what the hell is going on here? And I'm confused and all this. I'm like, what? They're not acting normal, you know? And it took about 3 or 4 times of us hunting together before they started kind of actually acting like themselves and doing what they should have done, you know? And so I think part of that has to just do with, you know, when you bring a new dog into a pack, depending on how you incorporate it, you know, however that may happen, I kind of like to let them hang out in the kennel for a little bit. Everybody, run around the property, things like that. Let them, a couple dogs out here and there, kind of incorporate them before just chucking them in right away usually, and try to mesh them a little bit, but sometimes that doesn't always work out. So I've had, and I've definitely gotten dogs where I've just thrown them in and they work great, and everything goes as it's supposed to go. But I think that's definitely something to take into account if we're talking about relationships and how all that works, is the relationship between dog to dog as well.
Yeah. And as far as you give one, how long you give one, it for me, like Dustin said, it depends on the dog. Like I got a little blue female that I just liked her. I always liked her for no reason. She was the aggravatingest, trashiest piece of crap for most of the last season, just aggravating the fire out of me. But I just liked her, So she was the hardest one to trash break, the hardest one to this. But I never thought to get rid of her because I like, well, we'll get over all that. I actually like this dog, and this joker right here. I hated that sucker. Hated him, and couldn't. But he was just every time I'm like, I'm done with you. Then in 30 minutes he'll pop something up for me, and I'm like, okay, now you don't want to got to do anything by himself. So, but now I like him better now. But he is aggravating. He'll just look at me and be like, why? I don't think I want to come over there. I don't.
The more
why,
Russian you learn, the better it'll be.
He's aggravating his fire, but and he's goofy looking, and but he's he's good, so I kept him. But if now had I not liked the dog and he'd been aggravating, I wouldn't have him. He'd catch everything he wants. But if he's pissing me off and I don't like him and he's not that good, down the river, I couldn't have dealt a whole season hunting a dog I didn't like. That wasn't any good.
That goes to Richard Dickerson, right, Benny? When he was like, he didn't really care about his dogs being whatever. He was just out hunting. So they did their job. He did his job. I always sticks in my brain when he says, I don't care if they had manners, as long as they were all feral, but even the handler was feral, right?
Oh, man. Yeah.
So
that is something I can get away with. Is like I see a lot of guys with a whole bunch of box manners with their dogs. They open the door and call them out by name one at a time, and like Alex sits them all on a tailgate, and they won't come down until he calls them down individually. Mine come out of that dang box like a grenade, and I got a couple of them. I got to throw them in. My truck's too dang tall, anyways. But
that's all depending on how you want to hunt them too. If you're just hunting by yourself, then it's not a big deal to have dogs grenade out of a box. If you got clients, there all the time, you got to have a little more control. You got to be able to turn a couple dogs loose and not have shit go breaking loose all over the place and stuff like that. It's all interpretation, you know what I mean? And if in your situation, if your situation allows you to do that, then it's awesome, and then like you don't need to worry about it. Let the dogs go, turn that box loose and do whatever you got to do. But there's it's kind of funny, even we talking about, relationship between the mules and horses and everything like that as well with your dogs. I've noticed, and I'm relatively new into owning mules, and I've rode plenty of other folks and stuff like that, but owning mules, I've learned over time, and my mules have learned over time, rather, when the dogs start barking, follow the sound. They just start going towards the sound of the dogs, and they know now, like, the dogs open up, their ears head that direction, and they start walking that way. I don't even really have to do much anymore, and that's a pretty cool thing to see. And over a year of hunting them and being underneath, dogs running underneath them, around them, all these things, all their little tidbits, their uncertainties and things that made them uncomfortable or made them a little spooky, they've gone away, and they've built that relationship now that they know that dog's not going to hurt them. They understand when something comes running through the brush, off to the right or left of them, that it's probably just a dog and everything's okay. And I got really good mules to start with already. And that was a, big purpose that I went to Max over there and, nickel saddle mules to get them. But it was a big deal to get mules where I could see what a good mule looks like. And, and then, I've seen what bad mules look like a little bit here and there. And fortunately, I haven't had to own them. But you know, it makes you real grateful when you see the bad ones and you get the good ones, and then they start building that hunting relationship with you. That's not just, you know, you going out and riding this animal around. It's like this thing's a part of the hunt. It's a part of the whole program. And I don't even go anywhere without them anymore. Unless it's completely terrible country for them to get through, or that rock's just terrible, you know, you're gonna trip them up all over the place. I'll go hike around, but other than that, you know, pretty much all the country we ride around or go around in here, we can take the mules.
I bet that's nice.
It's fun. It makes a difference.
You know,
Well, here's the question for. Go ahead.
You get.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. That's a good face. Someone screenshot it.
Press pause.
You there? No, he's still frozen.
No.
Yeah.
Now I gotta wait for. Oh, there's Dustin. So here's a question for Dustin, because you don't have your dogs; they're with somebody else. How do you think that's gonna like relate when you get them back? You think you're gonna have to kind of like feed them some snacks and let them know you're back in the alpha situation again, or?
Yeah. I mean, definitely. I mean, that's cow.
That's for both of you guys. That's for the handler and the dog, right?
Yeah.
It's like being divorced for 5 years, getting back with your ex-wife. You know? Kind of like.
No, it's not like that, Chris.
No? Maybe.
No.
I think you
Way to freaking poke at my heart here.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so if people don't know, if everybody doesn't know, it has been, God, what month is it? August? It's almost been 2 years since I've had my own dogs and been able to hunt for myself.
And they're hunting with other packs of dogs with someone else, right?
Yeah. Like I've been able to go hunt with some of my dogs, you know, because you know, I was very fortunate when shit hit the fan at first, and then when we made the move, that I had good friends that could take some. I mean, I had 13 and I sold them all down to 4, and 4 is what I have now. But I still haven't had them at my place, haven't been able to hunt them regular or spend time with them. So yeah, I think it's gonna be an adjustment. I mean, definitely the 3 older ones that I've been able to go hunt with from time to time. I mean, when I show up, they know who I am for sure.
Yeah.
But it's still going to be an adjustment, getting back, you know, back to
That's
what
exactly.
I'll tell you this.
Back in 2 years, Benny.
I didn't have my dogs for about, better part of a year, maybe a little bit more. Because I made a move down here to Arizona, and a good buddy, Travis Hunter, took my dogs up north and you know, took care of them for me. And I moved down here, started my job hauling horses cross country, got hit by a car and had to take a little hiatus, sitting on my butt for a while, recovering from that before I was able to finally get them back. And it took, I don't know, maybe 3 days at best of, you know, just being around them, because it was just, you know, it's like getting family back again, you know what I mean? Like it's just, you know, everybody knows how it is. They don't explain it, but you get them back finally, and everything just falls into place how it's supposed to. You know, like you hunted your dogs religiously before that. They know you well. They know your voice. They're going to know your kid's voice. They're going to be happy to see them all. It's going to be just how it's supposed to be. You know, you're not going to have, it's going to be like maybe a small speed bump, and then everything's going to go back to normal. But the recovery time is going to be super fast, man. You guys are, I'm excited. I can't wait for you to get your dang dogs back, man. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm counting down the days. It'll be the first week of September. You know, once we get moved in the new place and I find something, but first week of September is when I'm going to make the trip up and grab them and go from there and get right to hunting. It won't be. There won't be any time,
baby.
Make some stops on the way back.
Dustin, how many dogs will you be bringing home?
Well, so I will bring my 4 home, but also there's going to be about 10 other dogs in my truck that are coming with me from friends that I'm going to hunt for the whole month of October for them as well while I'm taking hunters for Brandon. So 4 will be mine, but I'll probably have a truckload of anywhere from 10 to 15 dogs coming with me.
So what you
Brandon
can
is
expect,
so. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, so what you can expect is your 3 old dogs that you have history with, they'll do exactly what you want them to do, and they'll fall into line just like Brandon's talking about right away.
Yep.
The dynamics that you're going to be challenged with are all those other dogs, and how do they fit into the pack under your leadership?
Very, very much so. Luckily, quite a few of them are coming all from like the same person that have been hunted with my dogs. So it's essentially like I'm almost kind of picking up somewhat of a pack that have been hunted for the last year and a half together and bringing them with a few mixed in. But they're coming from a buddy that I hunt with, know very well, have hunted with him for the past 10 years. We hunt somewhat similar. So definitely, I mean, Benny's very right, and I'm hoping the transition is pretty easy. And luckily, I'll get to spend, 3 weeks with them, just hunting on my own, messing around myself before I get into the nitty gritty of taking clients and going to Pound Town.
There you go.
Yep.
It'll be good, man.
You need that. You and the dogs need that 3 weeks.
Very definitely. Whether it's roading, whether it's hunting, whether it's just time spent.
Just walking out to the kennels, right? The chains and
just sit out there, just sit in the kennels with them on top of a dog box or something, and just say, hey, on top of the dog house, and just talk to them. Say, look, guys, this shit's about to change.
Well, tell me if I'm wrong, Dustin, but this is all new country for them too, so it's going to be a different style, different type of hunting. They've never been in that country. When I used to just come down and hunt in Arizona, I'd come down for 2 or 3 weeks before I'd start running clients with a guy, and that was the best thing I ever did, because man, it just having that time just alone without the pressure of clients and all that stuff, it's just so relieving to and just to be with your dogs in new country is awesome all the time too. So
well,
definitely.
Yeah.
Dustin's wife is just happy his dogs are coming back, and now she can put them in the doghouse for real. Now he has somewhere to go.
Oh yeah, now she's just gonna be like, "No, you leave and go spend time with the dogs. I'm done with this shit." She'll just send me to Brandon. Yeah, she'll be like, "I'm done. You go sleep up above Brandon's garage. You just get out." But I'm not gonna lie. The last time I got to spend time with my dogs was back in March when I drove up to go to all those banquets, and I wouldn't. I'll admit it now, but honestly, I was out for a ride with Hunter. We heard the dogs started opening, and it was all I could do, because it had been so long, to choke back happy tears. Like, I finally, a part of me that had been gone for so long felt
you don't
whole
gotta
again.
hide it, man. I did it too.
Hey,
the same thing,
listen.
man. It happens to the best
Like,
of us.
it felt whole again. Like, I felt like a part of me that had been lost was back. And I'm excited to be able to load them in my box, to come home and know that they're going to be in my box every day.
Yep.
See the Zen chair is working.
You like it? Look, I can bounce into something.
He's releasing his
Jeremy's been texting me saying, "Dude, I see you spinning in that chair. You need to bring it to the rendezvous." It's helping me be one with myself. Maybe we should get Benny one.
Man, I'm so excited for October. It's going to be a damn good time. It really is.
Oh,
Brandon wants my old bear meat tacos so bad that he invited me to come out just to hang out even.
Yeah. Yeah. We're about to turn. It's going to be, instead of Bear Line Combo Camp, it's going to be called AWDA Camp here shortly. We just need Benny and Derek to show up too, and we'll be all good there.
The month-long rendezvous.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That's right. What do we need? Workforce like the, I posted that Fox and the Hound deal where You know, he said, I don't need a job. I just need a good old dog, you know, kind of deal.
Took that to heart.
What's the best way to create that relationship?
Time spent.
Time. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not just time of, you know, going out and tossing food and stuff like that. Like I've been, you know, now that it's just so dang hot, you can't do nothing right now hardly, but you know, it's just a waste of time. And I just go out and, you know, even when I feed, just even just 10, 15, 20 seconds with your dog, just petting them. Yep. Hey buddy, how you doing? You know, good to see you. How you doing? Feel them up. Make sure, and even that, it's important to do that to make sure your dog's ain't getting sick. Because I mean, I don't know if we talked about this or not last time, but I lost a good dog out of nowhere for no dang reason. No reason at all. She died.
Same thing with my Yucky dog. Same thing.
Yeah. No good reason at all. Nothing that it should have, you know, nothing that should have happened. It's just, but sometimes we forget that they got a heartbeat. You know, it's not an engine that sits there and shuts off and shuts on. It's got a heartbeat, and it's got things in its you know, system that we may not know about. And dogs are so damn, they're kind of like a mule. You know, a hound's like a mule. It's so damn stoic. My vet, any vet you bring a hound to, you tell them what's going on with them. You tell them it's a hound, and they're like, oh, if they know hounds, they're like, yeah, this dog's gonna be just fine half the time. You know, if you bring a golden doodle to them and they start, you know, throwing all these bills this way and that way and all this stuff, hounds are durable. You know, they are. Yeah. They really are. They can take a lot. But if you don't go out there and visit with your dogs, eventually one day you might go in there and find it dead for no reason, and you don't even. And sometimes you're not going to notice it. You know, it does happen to the best of us. And I mean, like I said, I try to spend time with my dogs and make sure everything's super clean and everything like that. And it happened. But spending that time is, like you guys said, it's irreplaceable.
Yes, sir. I touch all over mine. I get on their level, touch them, you know, feel all over them twice a day, every day. And in what Chris knows, we leave to New Mexico, gone for 2 days, and dog drops dead. And there's no sign whatsoever at all, you know.
Yep.
It's just.
Yep. And it hits you. When that happens too, you start questioning everything about yourself. You know,
yes,
you're
sir.
Like, did I leave something out I shouldn't have left out? Did the, you know, what could have
did the neighbors throw something over the fence?
Right. You
that's
know,
what
that's happened to folks before, you know, stuff like that. And it's just, you start questioning yourself extremely hard, I think, because if you care, you're going to, you know, yes, obviously you kind of, it's your responsibility to keep these things, you know, as safe as you can. And as much as they need to be kind of part wild, they need to be, you know, taken care of and everything like that. They depend on us to feed them and care for them and vet them and all these things. And when that hits you, it hits hard, man. And that relationship with time, I think the more time you spend with your dogs, the worse it sucks, you know. And I get why some guys have, you know, they kind of have that hands off, you know, type of approach to their dogs, because it's tough to lose a dog. It really is. Like, if you got a dog that's brought you to 100 lion trees over its life, and all of a sudden that guy's gone, it's like you lost it really is like you lost a best friend, you know. And like, even better than a best friend that's a human, you know, never talks back or disagrees with you, really.
Likes you every day, no matter what.
Likes it's happier than hell to see you, you know. And it's just it stings a bit, you know. And so having that, and as much as it you know, hurts to build those relationships, especially with the way a lot of us hunt off of mule and off of foot with our dogs, having that relationship's pretty damn important, because you don't want to have to, you know, yell at a dog 80 times to, hey, come check this out real quick. You want to say, hey, Smokey, come over here, check this out, pointing at it, and that dog comes over and puts his nose in there and tells you yes or no. You know what I mean? And that's only comes with relationship and trust too, because I saw this when I was very first started getting into hounds. There was we had a hunter that I was working for, a guy up north in Idaho, and we had this client, and every time he would see any type of track, we were cold trailing on this line, any type of track, moose, deer, whatever. Hey, here it is, you know, trying to mock us. And this dog was smart enough. It went over there about twice. When he did that, the third time he just quit. He'd ignore him. You know, it wouldn't even go over there anymore. And it's like, this is a game of trust. If you point that dog in that wrong direction, and he knows you're pointing in that wrong direction, he's going to call you out pretty dang quick.
Yes,
and
sir.
I mean, as much as it's responsibility of spending time with them, it's responsibility of learning the game yourself too.
Dogs understand trust more than people realize, and a dog can like you plenty good and not trust you a lick, and people don't realize that. You can't. I'm big on that. Can never lie to your dog, never. And like that right there, you know, like you say, people don't realize that.
Yeah.
Like I never put my dogs down to check if something is something. I'm not. If I put them on, then they're either gonna look. Which I train them to look for the track. I don't put them right on it because I don't want to do that.
Right.
And because where I do these detection dogs, you know, like I take this joker out and zook and send him, and he will go try to find something. If he can, he can. If he does, he does. And so I'll take him off of a track and send him. And if he goes over it and can't smell it, then we get back and go walk somewhere else or whatever. But I don't ever want to put him right on something. I don't want them to associate their eyes with a track in the dirt or the snow. For one, because I feel like they might start running the wrong thing because my dogs are young. And then I don't want to put him on a thing and it not be something he could smell or track or, you know, be too old. Because I don't know. I ain't been running this dirt long enough to tell you how old that track is, unless it's like old and blown with, you know, grass and everything. You know, it could be too old and might not know the difference. So I do it a little different there. But
this is a good question right here, actually. This littermate question.
Yeah.
I've had them either, if it's two males, they're either best friends or they absolutely hate each other. I've had it's never really in between as far as littermates goes. Yeah, we were. Yep, we were. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's just like I've had these littermates that I mean, they were, mind you, they were terriers, but two brothers, littermates, been separated for a year. I got the second one at a year old. I got home and I was like, I was pretty young into you know, working dogs, hunting dogs at the time, and I got this dog and I pulled him out, thinking, oh, I'm gonna go and snap your brother, and you guys are gonna say hi to each other. It's gonna be a great reunion. I unsnapped the one dog. He comes over. I let the other dog out of the box. They come down. They smell each other for half a second and instantly start fighting. And from that day, they were nearly, unless they were hunting, they were nearly immortal enemies. If when they were hunting, no problems at all. Not a problem in the world. It's like if they had something else to focus on, but had to separate them on each side of the box, couldn't let them around each other, you know, if I had them running around and stuff like that. But then I've had the same thing where I've had littermates and they're best friends. You know, they hunt well together. They respond to each other. They kind of have that connection, stuff like that. But I think it's just super dependent on the litter and the breed, you know?
Yeah. I think as far as most hunting dogs that I've seen, now I don't know about terriers. I don't know anything about a terrier. But even with sled dogs or with, you know, primitive hunting dogs or hounds, if you got them, if you go pick up two puppies, and they're same sex. I've never mixed a male and a female. I don't do that because that's just how you end up with a litter you don't want. But
isn't that how most the South was made?
You walked into that one, my friend.
I'll take, you know, two females or two males. And if you keep them together the whole time, they figure out who boss is when they weigh 2 pounds and they're running around fighting over a tit. Yeah. But when you separate them, like you say, and bring them back together when they're 40 pounds, they're going to try again and figure out who boss is. That's what I've noticed. That I've seen it with sled dogs. I've never done it with hunting dogs. I just always either kept two or only got one, you know. But with sled dogs, I've seen that every time. If you like sell one and then they don't like it and you bring it back, then you can't put him with his brother because they're going to try to kill each other, you know.
Yep.
And those things fight for serious. It ain't like hound fights and things.
Yeah,
trying to tear legs off.
Hounds just like to rip ears off.
Yeah,
Tim B has it right there, and I think people who, and I've said this 100 times, people who don't raise their own puppies, like they just buy dogs, I don't think they'll ever have that relationship when they buy a 2, 3, 4-year-old, 5-year-old dog.
Yep.
If you don't raise your own puppies and watch them grow all the way to the end, I don't know how you learn how to read a dog.
And I get why people, I agree with you. I get why people don't do it. Because like here I am coming up on the 2-year mark and don't have that much to show for it as far as successful catches goes, because last year I had a bunch of yearlings. And then the spring before that, I only had 3 that were big enough to do anything, and they were half grown. You know, halfway to a year old, like 8-month-old pups ain't doing anything. We just walked a whole bunch. But now, you know, the end of last season, and I suspect this is going to be a good season for them. They're coming into that maturity. They've got hundreds of miles under their feet, and I was right with them the whole time, unless they outrun me, which does happen. But you know what I mean? With them every day, all that time. The dogs, like, they don't have box manners because I just let that go. If I'm going to pick my fights, and that wasn't one I picked. But I do a whole lot of walking, and I can't do that, you know, hey, don't go up that way, come with me. They're going to come, you know.
Like what Derek is saying, it's every person is different. You know, if I get a dog, you know, which is why I don't buy dogs, and like I say, everyone is different. Some guys just like to buy dogs. My best advice for someone that is going to get into the hound world, buy a dog and then learn from that dog and get some pups to start around that dog. Yep. One, it's going to save you a lot of headache, but at the same point, it's going to keep you interested, and it will help you not ruin as many puppies, but people are still going to ruin puppies unless they have someone to help them and teach them. And we've had that whole mentor talk, but also at the same point, if I buy a dog from Derek or Chris, what they expect from their dogs is very different than what I expect from mine. So if I buy a dog from Derek just because of what he just explained, if it has no box manners, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm straight up gonna lose it, because I've hunted bears long enough, hunted stuff like that when my dogs rig a bear and I kick them out, I expect the box to be quiet. And if they're not, I'm gonna let them have it, because I want to be able to hear that dog that rigged that bear track 300 yards away make his way out there and hit that track. And if I can't hear him, I don't know when to turn stuff loose. I don't know what way he's going. I don't know what's going on. And so no box manners to me is something that's going to piss me off. But it might not piss Derek off. Or he's found his medium that, you know what, I'll deal with this, I won't deal with that. And I'm the same way. I'll deal with a little bit of a babbly dog versus someone that won't. And so it's very, very specific. And when you buy and sell started or finished dogs, that is a discrepancy that you're going to deal with no matter what. Whereas if you raise it from a pup, you know what it is, it knows what to expect from you, and you go from there. But at the same point, some people are not made to start dogs and raise puppies, plain and simple.
Not everybody's a pup man. That's for sure.
Yeah, they will ruin more than they will ever bring in that is worth it. And so, yeah, it's very person specific and dog specific. There's some dogs, like I had a 2-year-old dog that was a hell of a nice dog, but his and my personality did not get along. I was irritated every time I walked out of the house with that dog, every time I hunted it. Like, just as soon as I'd step out of my house, it was constant yap, 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 yap. And I could hammer the dog, I could whoop the dog, I could do whatever. But he was never running trash. He was always where he was supposed to be, but the constant everything else, I couldn't take it. Sold him, and the guy loves him. The best bear dog he's ever owned, loves him. But for me, couldn't take it. That dog was he was gonna piss me off enough that something was gonna happen. And so it was better to part with the dog. It wasn't a colt by any means, but our personalities did not mesh. Just like people.
It's all about your preferences, and then I'm funny. The way I handle my dogs is weird. The commands I use are weird. So if I buy a dog, I gotta use a different word. I'll be out there, niet, no, you know, whatever, you know. I'll be saying all the wrong shit, and the dog will be confused. I'll be confused. I'll get pissed off. Then I'll get rid of the damn thing anyway. So it's just all about, you know, and like barking on the gang line. I can't handle that. Like at camp. Dog that barks on the gang line. Oh, I got a puppy. Is my youngest dog, and he is the coldest thing I've got. But sometimes he'll bark on the gang line. But I put him in a box, he'll shut up, because we've had that conversation. Like at night, he don't like sleep outside. I don't know why. He's a little Sally, but I can't handle barking on the gang line. I put you on the gang line, feed you, shut up. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. But
I think
you'll learn that. Like even going to this rendezvous, like last year, we're not going to name names, but there were some plots that would not shut the hell up.
we all know who it was. I know he's watching.
Only two of them in the state, Will.
We won't say names, but we know he was undercover.
Yeah, just say it. But and that's the thing is to him, he was good. I mean, he'd yell, the dog would shut up for 10 seconds, and that made him happy. Whereas me, I'm ready to go in this dog's life.
Yeah, hold his head underwater for 10 minutes.
Yeah, everybody's different, and that's the risk you take when you buy dogs, when you sell dogs, even when you breed and raise dogs, and you send an 8-week-old pup to someone, doesn't mean that they know how to handle that dog, how to bring out what that dog has in him. There's a very fine line between someone that can hunt a dog and someone that can make a dog.
Yes,
there's those dogs.
Not everyone has that in them. Yeah.
Those dogs know who they can get away with stuff, because when my kids go out and feed, they won't shut up. Right? When I walk through that cedar trees, all them dogs go to their dog box. They all like, oh crap. You know, they know who don't, you know how kids are. They dump food and go.
Shit, they smell peanut butter.
Yeah, that's all it is. Peanut
and
butter.
that's another thing.
All it takes, guys.
Like, I don't mind if my dogs bark at me when I'm bringing the food bowl. Like, they're excited, they're jumping around, their kennel spinning. That's not a thing that I chose to make a thing. But some people, they burn the dang house down and kill them all for that. You know what I mean?
That's me. I'm like that because I run clients and we have a camps and things like that. And when I leave camp, I don't want the 6, 8, 10 dogs that I leave behind barking their ass off all day while we drive
the whole time.
Yeah, because they will, you know. And it's like, and when we have 60 dogs in camp, because I got 4 other guys there, I don't want my dogs losing their head because he grabbed his food bucket or something, or somebody moved around a little bit and stuff like that. And so there's order for reason, you know what I mean? And like especially I think in dirt lion hunting, you want your dogs to bark for a reason. You know what I mean? Like, and I want purpose behind the bark. I do not want to bark just because I can bark. And a hound, and like we go back to talking about, Dustin was saying about, you give a dog to another guy. Who's to say that guy really knew what his dogs were running for the last, 2 or 3 years? They might be running deer every time and he thinks they're running a bear or whatever it may be. And now that dog's like, well, all these dogs run deer. So shoot, I guess that's what we run now. I live with this guy and this is what we run. And so he's going to play along a little bit. You got a dog that's super broke. He's going to turn around and that guy's going to be like, well, this dog's not really doing the right thing, yada, yada. And that guy may not have realized that dog's telling you something that you didn't know before, that's why I think it's also super important to know, if you do get a dog off somebody, know how they hunt, know who they are, know what kind of standard they keep. That's super important. And if you hunt the same way, get a dog from that guy. If you don't, probably look for a different guy.
If you're paying serious money for a dog, then you're not going to hunt with the dude for a few days, then I mean, that's just setting yourself up for failure, in my opinion.
That's something I have noticed out west, is it's less of a thing. Because back east, I don't know a guy that don't buy the dog at the tree. You either buy him at the tree or you've seen his last 10 scorecards.
I guess, because you gotta spend a week out, especially if you're buying a lion dog in the dirt. You got to be able to take a week and go spend with them, which is tough for folks to take away, especially if you're buying a high dollar dog. Most of the time, you're making money off that dog in a way. And you're going to have to spend that time of that season out making money with it. So it makes it real tough. That's where I think, guys like Benny can give us the gist on that, as far as, knowing who you're going to buy your dogs off of and understanding how that person hunts specifically, and, having that trust that's built through other folks verifying that too, because everybody can some guys that are really, really good at marketing themselves, social media wise, all these things, and that may not be the dog for you. You know, and even there's lots of guys that catch lots of game, but they might hunt totally different country than you, and it's not, that dog's not going to work in the place that you hunt it. You know what I mean? And I think that's something that Benny's preached a bit, is get a dog that hunts the same type of country that you do, because that's very, very specific to what that dog is going to be able to produce for you.
Yep. It's just like Alex is a great example of that, right? So you take Alex and Jared. On paper, they hunt very similar. They're going to walk in somewhere and get up game and catch it. But if Jared took Alex's best dog, he'd probably throw himself off a cliff. He'd get aggravated. You know what I mean? Because he'd try to go on yesterday or 2-day-old lion, and that dog's going to get through there and be like, well, I ain't going to catch that, and quit and go find something else. You know? Whereas I want that. I like that. But that same dog that would make me the happiest joker in the land, a guy like Jared would be, you know, just in fits over, you know, which with those dogs, obviously it's easy. You can look at it and know it's not what you want, but you know, there's like I got hounds that hunt like that, because that's how I've been hunting them. So she will quit one. If it's too cold, she'll let me know, you know, if he don't tell me, she will.
Brandon said the word verified. And I think on the West Coast, on the West here, you know, you're talking about, you've always said that it's hard to get people to even talk to you or let, you know.
That's a fact.
You almost have to be verified here. Not like back east where everybody bear hunts, right? They're all out, past them 100 times, you know who's who. Yep. I think here, because of the dry ground lion, it's not even a community. It's the character of being alone. You know, I don't really hunt with nobody. So no one knows, you know, I could take and video 5 catches I do and make my dogs look super good and sell it, like you said. Yeah. Social media. And back here, I think here we have a lot of that video. So it's hard for, if you're serious about buying a dog from Derringer or these guys, you're going to go hunt with them for a week. And I think if the guy's going to buy a dog from you and he's not hunting with you for the week, then he's probably not going to do nothing with that dog like you're doing.
And I got a little butthurt about it when I got out here. Like, well, I've never had this trouble before. But you noticed it with Chris last week. It didn't take very long. We figured out we know about 50 of the same people hunted the same woods. So it's like I kind of had that verification my whole life, and then I don't have it. And that's what kind of aggravated me. I never thought about it like that until you just said that. But that's what it is. It's not like, oh, you're Tyree's nephew. Okay. Yeah, no, come on. Yeah, buy this pup. It's probably the same way over there. I just never had to deal with it because I grew up in the shit. So.
God bless the tattletales. You know, like, look at Mike Leonard. I called and left a message. I've met him. Benny texted him that quick because Benny's verified with Mike Leonard. You don't know me, and I know you don't know me. And I knew I was going to have to reach out to Benny and be like, hey, why don't you ask him if, you know, and that's what's tough about it. But I think that's what keeps us kind of safe over here. I think you have to really prove yourself and be verified.
It's interesting to me that everybody wants to put their circumstances in the same box in the way that it would work best for them. But I see these guys that I knew, you know, most of them are gone now, but there's some of them still around. And Casey can attest to this as well. He's known a bunch of that circle. He's in some of that circle. I see it as, you mentioned the dry ground lion hunting deal, Brandon, and really that's the difference. It's that group of guys, because the bear hunters all pal around and they get together, but there's more bears to be had than there are lions. And so when you're out there and everybody's competing for the same lion, it's not that we hate each other. Now there's a bunch of animosity amongst some of these guys, and there has been in the past, and people think this piece, this piece of country is mine. What the hell are you doing over here? Well, why don't you go right over that saddle and I'll go right over that saddle and we'll go different directions and you can pound sand. But I also see it in the same manner as let's just say a mountain lion, period. because lions, everybody claims, all of the biologists, everybody says, oh, they're solitary animals. They don't even associate with each other unless it's breeding or raising kittens. That's such a bunch of crap. All you got to do is spend your time following the lions, and you'll find out how much crap that is. So the lion hunters, the Southwest dirt lion hunters, they're nothing more than just a bunch of old lions themselves. They all can squawk and squabble, and they can all go their separate ways, and they can all get together around the campfire and enjoy each other's company. And so it's a different environment, and the verification is a good way to put it. But even being verified, that doesn't mean that somebody's not going to get bent out of shape from time to time. And you just got to learn how to negotiate all of that and get through it. And, everybody says they're going to hunt with everybody else before they buy a dog. They're going to see what the dog does. And I never found that necessary. Get a 30-day guarantee because you're spending too much money. I never found that necessary.
Well, what is a 30-day guarantee? What did that guy do in those 30 days with your dog that it's not working all of a sudden?
Well, I think that's more in a correlation of if it's going to work with the dogs that you have, because sometimes you might, you don't know that guy's pack of dogs. He might have really good dogs. He wants to add another one on too, for whatever reason, and he's got another dog that he depends on a lot. And that dog and that dog, whatever two dogs you mash together, they just might not get along. They might have a discrepancy where they're fighting all the time, or whatever it may be. I think at least a 2-week trial is plenty. I think within 2 weeks, if you hunt hard and you got that dog in the prime of the season, especially, I think a 2-week trial is plenty. I mean, I when I bought a pretty high dollar dog, I had a 2-week trial with it, and I caught 2 lions within 2 weeks of that, having that dog, and I think that was pretty verifying and that dog did really, really well on those lions. And it was one of those deals where you go, okay, that's the dog that I need to add to my pack, but I think without, at least giving some sort of trial to see if you're going to mesh with that dog, if you like that dog. I mean, I think that, like Benny's saying, having that relationship prior to knowing that person, knowing how they hunt and all that stuff makes a big difference. But I still think that having at least a short trial helps a lot in verifying if that dog is going to mesh with you, mesh with your other dogs, mesh with your mules. If that dog, there are some guys, and that's why I think it's super important, especially hunting off of mules, to find a dog that's hunted off of that way, because that is a completely different style of hunting. And, when I first got my mules, I didn't think it was going to be that much different. Boy, was I wrong. I'll tell you what, it is a absolutely different way of hunting that you can't really know a dog if they're going to mesh with that style until you get it on the ground.
Yeah, you're right. And, as far as I have seen where a buddy of mine bought a dog on a 30-day trial from a guy that never ever trained a dog in his life. He always bought dogs. And he asked me, "Hey, why don't we go hunting? I bought this dog, and he's supposed to be a John Clump dog." And I said, "Really?" And I looked at the dog, and it didn't even look like a hunting dog. He says, "I've got him for 30 days." And so I called John Clump, and I asked him, "Hey, what about this dog?" And he told me all about that dog, and I told him what the dog was doing and how he looked. He said, "That's not the dog I sold that man." He said, "That's something's wrong with that dog." And so this buddy of mine sent the dog back, and the guy was all pissed off at him and said, "You don't know what the hell you're doing." And within a week, that dog was laying out there in that guy's yard dead. So I can see that, but then again, it gets back to who are you dealing with? Because I've sold dogs, I've given dogs away, I've bought dogs, I've got dogs for free, I've mixed and matched packs, and to me, if a dog's not going to get along with your dogs, that's on you. As the handler, that's on you, because it gets back to who's in charge of this pack. And I'm not trying to be harsh on everybody. I'm just saying, I've done this. I've been there. And I never had any of those issues because I decided that I was going to run the show. And they might not get along, and you might spend longer getting them integrated into where you want them in the pack. And you know, I always had 2 packs of dogs, and that may take some finesse too, and you may have to put them in a different spot than you had thought about putting them to begin with. But after a while, when they all live together, whether it's in a kennel system or in chains where they can all look at each other and talk to each other, and you spend time with them out there every day, whether it's just feeding them for a minute and making them all behave, or spending time out there with each and every dog. And that goes for when you're out hunting and there's nothing going on. Get off your horse or your mule and call them over there and say, hey, you know, what are you guys doing? And give them all a rub down, and they all see who's in charge, and they all know that everybody's equal in this deal. And I just never had any of those kinds of problems, and I never expected anybody to give me any favors.
Did you ever have any dogs that just were, you know, didn't mesh as far as, you know, type of behavior or breed that you noticed, Benny? Anything like that? Any type of breeds that you just didn't prefer, that you had a different type of, you know, notice that you're going, you know, this dog's just not the type of dog for me?
Red bone. And I end up with red dogs, man.
I hunted dogs that came out of the country that I wanted to hunt. That came from the people that I wanted to hunt like and with. And I didn't give a rip what they looked like. And I didn't care how they sounded either.
Yep.
And I didn't always have the longest eared dogs, and I didn't always have the loudest dogs. But I guarantee you that I had dogs that would get the job done. And I didn't have any dogs. I never had a dog. I never kept a dog that wasn't willing to jump on a mountain lion and try to kill him with his own teeth.
I think that is a big cultural difference between the North and the Southwest, because there's guys in the North that will specifically only hunt walkers, or only hunt blue ticks, or only hunt plots, you know, yada, yada, maybe. And I think that's, you know, even out east, there's a lot of guys that are kind of especially walkers heavy. And I think it goes to more bloodline of the walker out east, but it is very, very specific on that. And in the Southwest, that's why I like when guys, you know, even when I talk to hunters and stuff and they ask, you know, what kind of dogs you got? You know, we run deer dogs out here and yada, yada. And I just say, we just call it a Southwest dry ground dog, you know, because it doesn't matter the color. It doesn't matter where it came from. If it's out there hunting how it's supposed to hunt, then that's the type of dog that you want. And if it's got qualities, and I think when it comes down to breeding, everybody has their different, you know, parameters that they like to follow. But if you can understand where that dog came from and the qualities that it's bringing to your pack, and it's doing the things that it's supposed to do, and you can mesh that with another dog that's doing the same thing, or they're going to complement each other's attributes, or pick up on one that the other one doesn't have, that it doesn't matter what color, what breed, what size, whatever it is, or how it sounds. It's all about just how it hunts. And I think that's a huge, huge difference in location in as far as how your dogs are.
I think do you not agree that your dry ground line guys, they don't have a specific dog? We all have our preference, right? But if you look at a pack of anybody here in Arizona, New Mexico, there ain't a dog that's all blue tick, all walker, all red tick, all red bone.
Nope.
You know what I mean? Like right now I got a lot of blue ticks, but I'll breed another dog one day, and next thing you know, I'll have all red ticks, or I'll have all walker looking dogs, or I'll have, you know, I got red dogs out there. Yucky was a red dog. It was an accidental breeding. The mom killed a lot of chickens, my wife's chickens. And I could not get that dog. I'm talking like killed 15 chickens in one off the chain deal.
Hell yeah.
So that dog, but I had Yucky out of it. And Yucky was I'm not a fan of red dogs. I'm not saying I'm not going to use them. You know what I mean? But And he was a good dog. He was like my up and coming, trying to get him to do the rigging, trying to get him to, and he's the one that died. But because he was, I think we're all colorblind back west. Like if you look back east, you'll see a lot of them guys with all blue ticks, all black and tans.
Yep.
If Jared had his choice, he'd have all black and tans.
Yeah. Yeah.
I swear to God, he'll have a litter. He'll have a litter and keep the black and tans out of the litter, right? You know, but that's his preference.
Jared, if you're listening, you better jump on and defend yourself, bud.
He's not. I would tell you right now, he's either working or he's at the bar.
Yeah.
Every time he'll call me tomorrow
working.
and say, "No, he'll call me tomorrow."
I know he's not working. I talked to him.
He ain't working. I know that.
Nope.
Yeah.
He's working on that third gin and tonic, boys.
He has the link. You know what he tells me? He says, "I was gonna get on, but I stopped by a friend's." I said, "You got drunk." He said,
"Yeah,
I did."
Yeah.
I ain't saying nothing.
No, it really is though. Like there is some guys that kind of have specified their line down to a certain look in the Southwest, but if you track that line back, it's not really a blue tick, it's not really a walker, it's not really a black and tan. It's a mix of all sorts of things that have just happened to come out that way. And you can and colors are very interesting when it comes back to genetics, and we've talked about this a little bit as far as how the genetics roll and stuff like that. But I had a blue tick dog and a red tick dog, blue tick female, red tick male have a litter, and one nice blue tick came out of the whole thing. And I mean, that dog is blue tick as blue tick could be, and only spit out one other dog that looked like her. And so it doesn't matter really, because it's just whatever dogs have hunted well.
Mm-hmm. And it's a lot of just the kind of like what Tim's saying, the papers mean something. Well, because most guys back east are competing for, money, and and you have to be papered for that. And with the way they've got that breeding so dialed, you can just about get the kind of dog you're looking for out of this cross and this cross, Like you buy something,
Derek. The guys out east, they don't travel as much unless they're competition hunting, right? Like they probably hunt more around their local areas, so those papers are going to mean more. They're going to carry a name heavier than just them having.
That's enough.
Dogs.
The papers are going to carry. What
like
now?
Is the paper going to carry more than the person? Because like out west, it's more about the person and the folks who have hunted them, and then back east, it's more about those papers of where that lineage has come from. Am I right there or am I wrong?
Kind of. The papers get you in to the deal. If a guy's not competing, then it doesn't really matter. Nobody's going to spend $50,000 for a dog to pleasure hunt behind their house.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about guys like you got the Kevin Cables and the John Stricklands and the Dustin Weeds, those guys, when they got a dog, like if you buy a dog off of Kevin, you know what you're getting. When you got a big money dog, you know the kind of dog you got, whether it's out of Little Money or out of Bank, or Jeremy can attest to this. He has, I think, 2 of them. Out of Little Money or out of Big Money 1, but he knew what kind of dog he was getting pretty much based on that cross. The papers will tell you that. And whereas if I get a dog it's kind of like saying one of Brandon's dogs bred to one of Chris's, know. But imagine if you guys were 120 or 100 or 80 years old and been doing it for 70 years, the same exact stuff. Then it would just tell you what kind of dog you were going to get out of that cross.
Gotcha.
But as far as like if a guy shows up, like if one of us showed up at a hunt, at a money hunt, and I opened him at $2,500, whatever, with nobody's going to be like, oh wow, watch out, that guy's got a rodeo pup. Well, they don't know who we are, so it doesn't matter. It's kind of like you give me an Indy card, it's not going to make me win the Indy 500. Right. But if John Strickland showed up with something from Chris's house, everybody's going to be a little nervous because that guy knows how he don't buy nothing that don't win, and he don't lose a whole lot, kind of deal. So the man carries more weight in the moment, but when you're selling a puppy, it's a difference in a $600 puppy or a $2,000, $3,000 puppy or whatever. The papers will make your puppy more expensive and tell you what you're going to get, kind of.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
What's the difference in those papers and these papers?
The difference in those papers is
Names.
that anybody can look and see. So when you get PKC papers, right? It'll say Zeb 3, for example. Dog has X amount of puppies and X amount of $1 million won of those pups' earnings. That's the only difference. It's just that you can look up every cast win, every dollar won, where those dollars were won, who they were against. It shows you, like, if a dog has 1,000 pups on the ground and he's won $1 million, that tells you he produces more regularly than a dog with 10,000 pups on the ground with $1 million.
So
that's the same as a name, right?
Well, yeah, but you're talking about trial dogs.
Well, that's what the breeding is for. It's the most raccoons, the fastest in this rule set. Like, that's what they're trying to make. So papers wouldn't do us as much good out here unless you were like, Benny's got these dogs he's been breeding for this many years. It's the same thing. It means the same.
Well, it's same but different kind of deal.
Yeah. It's about the task at hand.
This paper, I made this myself with phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
I got a male and female littermate pup sent to me from a government guy in Northern California. And so I said, hey, I need to know how this deal goes. So in this deal, there's Steve Galentine, Jeff Allen, Jim Kincaid. Then it goes all the way back to somebody named Wolf Mountain, somebody named Holt, Boone Shockley, John Fry. This, Boone Shockley's been dead for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And so Steve Galentine bought all of Boone Shockley's dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And he crossed them with Nance Walkers, and they came out with high tans. And Steve called them the Black. And so all of that stuff still mattered to me because I want to know if something works out, how did it happen?
Yes, sir.
And what you're talking about is, I'm talking about following the lines of production dogs, and you're talking about the lines of performance dogs. And it's, there you go. It's more or less the same kind of a thing, except for the guys back east that are going to those trials and, looking for $100,000 trophy and all of that stuff. All we were looking for was going out there and catching that solitary lion.
That's our $100,000 trophy. It's no different than being raised on a Ford and a Dodge.
But
they do the exact same job.
Yeah. The big thing that Jeremy said, that's a big difference too, is that to get papered in the PKC or whatever, those dogs are all DNA tested, so you can prove it. But you get on like Southwest Hound Hunters, and every puppy for sale is a Jeff Allen dog. You know what I mean? But Jeff Allen never seen that puppy. You know what I mean? You can't. They've took away the ability for a guy to
start calling your dogs versus somebody else's.
Oh, that's a good question, right?
That is a good question,
because there's a lot of guys that get that mixed up. That and you hear it from these old timers that, oh, this person's calling me because they heard that they got a dog that was, from my lineage, and they see, or a guy saw an ad in Full Cry back in the day that somebody's selling a dog that says it's from his lineage, and he's got to pick up the phone and call that guy and go, hey man, I've never seen this dog before. Like, I don't know where this is coming from, but that's not from my line. You gotta start calling, I think, the moment that you breed a dog to another dog that is not from that exact same person,
yes, sir,
you have to call that your own line at that point.
It's your own cross.
You got to call that your own line of dogs at that point.
And the last,
go ahead.
Sorry, the last thing I do want to say on the papers is, even from my perspective, if I was going to go back east and competition hunt, I would not be paper hunting. I would call a couple of guys. I'd be like, hey, where a good one is ready to start. That's where I'd go buy that dog. I would trust Mr. Benny's papers before I trusted the PKC papers in making a decision on what dog to buy. Same deal. If I started all over and I wanted to, cold trail lines in the dirt, I'd be like, all right, Mr. Benny, where would you point a fellow? Or Chris, where would you, or Brandon, I would do the same thing if I went back east. All the papers in the world, I'm still going to call my cousin and be like, hey, do you know where one's at?
Yep.
Like,
well, the game changes quick out there, I'm sure too. You know what I mean? Like there's, I'm sure that can change pretty quick. I think the one difference, and this is more of a question than a statement, is, guys I've noticed out like at the Horse Towns and Mules, there was a guy, he spent about 40-50 grand while he was there between a couple dogs and a horse or a mule, whatever it was there, and a couple dogs and a mule. And he's nothing but a pleasure hunter. He's not doing it for money. He's not doing it for anything. I think that is a little bit of the difference in the East and West when it comes to guys, because not everybody that buys a dog is going to be an outfitter, even if they spend high dollar on that dog. Yep. They're not always making money of it, but they understand that when they buy a dog from a guy who has put the time into it and all that, that because we talk about time's irreplaceable, and it's really hard to put a dollar sign on time, and what everybody's put in. But when you put all that time into a dog, it adds so much value into it that person who may be just a pleasure hunter sees the value in that dog, and they buy that dog because they know what it'll add to their pack and give them the satisfaction. Whereas, versus an Eastern Coon guy, if you're just a weekender, you're not going to go buy a $10,000 dog just to go and make you some, catch you more coons on the weekend. You're just going to go work harder, probably. And some people do have that.
Look what Tim said, though. I don't really agree with this, because I think if you have some dogs, like I always say I have Salazar dogs. That's where all mine came from. So when you tell somebody that, like, you want to know where they came from. You know what I mean? Like Brett's dogs.
Mike Kemp? Is he talking about Mike Kemp dogs? Kemp dogs?
Maybe. I don't. Yeah. It may be.
Probably.
But it still has the line in that dog. So you can say it has some of that MK blood in it, right?
Well, yeah, you can say that it has, but you can't call it their dog anymore. But you have to annotate sending the lineage is fine. So if that guy wants to breed that dog, eventually he understands where it comes from. I dive into that every time I get a dog from somebody. I want to know where that dog came from at least 4 generations back. Yeah, because if I can get 4 generations back, I can understand a little bit more about that dog by knowing where that dog came from and how it developed. And that's just, I think, as we get deeper into being houndsmen, you want to know the fine tunes of your dogs, because man, there's some guys out there that they have the magic touch. They understand what dogs are to breed to what dogs, and it might not make sense to you if you look at those dogs, but they've hunted them the right way, and they understand this dog to this dog is going to make sense. Whether you might look at their pack, if you go hunt for them a day and say, well, shoot, you should breed these 2 dogs, and they'd look at you and laugh.
Yep. I got some of that right now, and that's what I do. Like I got my 2 females are off of a bitch that's off of a Kemp dog and another running dog that I don't know what was. Mm-hmm. And that female was bred to a male off of a big country male. Like they're not country dogs and they are not Kemp dogs, but that's how they're bred up. And then they've been hunted out here in this dirt all the time. So I don't recommend anybody try to take them to Illinois and win money with them. Yeah. It's probably not going to work out well for you. You know what I mean?
I feel it's good to know, though. It's good to know that it has that Kemp in it. You got your Warner Glenn's, your Steve Smiths, your Mike Roots, but what about your Tom, Dick, and Harrys? The people you don't know. There are so many people out there that probably have dogs that would smoke the grand winner, whatever the champion, whatever they do in the coon trials.
Those guys don't exist anymore. You got
maybe not out east.
Back east, yeah. Out here, I guarantee they do. But back east, the behind the barn coon dog that could stomp all over the world, that dog don't exist. Because if you've ever took it anywhere, somebody saw it. And that's what these guys do. Like a guy named Ike Rainey will spend grillions and buying up everything that's good and hiring handlers. That's what he does.
And that's the difference between East and West is our solitude. And they're so packed together over there. Like you said, if there was a dog out there that was treeing the shit out of coons, that person that had that, like you said, whoever, I don't know names.
Anybody,
he
somebody
would find
would
out because Joe would tell Steve, who told Sally, who told her cousin, that dog's crazy, and that guy'd already be at his house saying, "I'll give you $50,000 for that dog."
Somebody would put a stack of hundreds on that guy's truck that was too big for him to say no to, and that'd be how
money. Greenbacks talk sometimes. It's tough to say no when, especially if I think the part of it is also that you can go hunt coons with 2 or 3 dogs, and you truthfully.
Usually one.
You can do it with one. Really, you really should be able to do it with one.
Yeah. If you can't do it with one, you need a better dog. Yeah.
Right. You should be able to do it with one, but most guys go out with 2, 3 dogs usually. To keep dogs learning and all that stuff. Lion guys go out with 6, 8 dogs. You know what I mean? We're constantly moving dogs and if you can catch a dry ground lion with 1 dog and 1 dog only all the time. Boy, I want that dog. You know what I mean? Yeah. Everybody.
How many times you got to do it?
Yeah.
How many times do I got to do it?
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? But it's like guys want that dog. You know what I mean? And so it's like if you can catch that, if you can go out and be successful with 2 or 3 dogs, it would be a different game than if you needed 6 or 8. I think that's like a big difference there.
Do you reckon a guy can't catch lions regular with 3, 4 dogs?
Oh yeah, I think you can.
Oh, I think you can.
I don't know. I'm asking.
I really do think you can. I just think that it depends on what type of dogs those are, and if you can rotate those dogs. It just depends the country and what you're doing. It's so dependent. Like there's a variant in there because I think this is the hard part about relating, Eastern hunting versus Western hunting, because we got to hunt a dog maybe 2 or 3 days. If you're right behind a lion, and you're on a good track, even if you're just a day behind them, sometimes it might take you 2 or 3 days to catch them. You might pop them up that day and great, but at that point we've got way harder ground. Like the ground that you have to have out the dog's feet have to be super durable to handle the ground out here. You can't hunt a dog for 4 days straight and they have weak feet, because you will split that dog's feet open so bad it won't walk for 10 days.
I feel like back east is more like a golf game. You got one guy, right, putting the ball in the hole. Back here, it's like a basketball game, finesse, right? I think you have to have a team.
It's finessing, right? It's finessing this dog goes from the point that it hits the track and gets to that tree as fast as possible. It's super finessed, right? They're looking for very small details in there where this dog went left or right for too long, and it had to search for that track on that coon.
Yeah, that'll cost you a living right there.
Right, exactly. Yep. Versus where we're looking at a dog that can stay persistent for day after day. We want a dog that can drive day after day after day after day. If you can hunt a dog for 6 days straight, that dog is meant to ground lion hunt.
It's a different thing. They got to have, like you say, that fast perfection over and over and over again, day in, day out. They get hauled so much. Most dogs can't handle it. Most dogs can't handle the pushing.
And let's take this, for instance. I went to the trials last weekend here in Arizona. First time I've ever been to the trials. I've never, ever been before. It was a whole new experience for me. And these dogs are, they're going wild. You got 100 dogs around barking their heads off. They're doing all this chaotic stuff that's going on. And it's not real. You know what I mean? It's not a real life scenario. It's good fun. It's great. It's a great time to be around other houndsmen and have
good for the kids and good for socialization of the dogs.
It is. It's good. I grabbed my 2 dogs and I try to throw them in the water race. I got there just in time for the water race. I try to throw them in. They never even been in water before, because we got when the hell does a dog ever have to cross water in Arizona to chase anything? And so I go and throw them in the water race, and they're confused as hell. All this barking's going on. I mean, like I said, I don't even.
They were like, "What is up?"
Yeah, they're going, "What the hell is going on?" I throw them in the water, and they're just like, "Oh, I'm out of here." They turn around, come back to me, whatever. And I called Chris after, and we pulled off. And no disrespect to anybody who runs the trials and does that stuff, but I went and petted my dogs up after, because they seemed kind of like nervous and spooked a little bit, and just let them know, hey, you're okay. I'm proud of you for not doing anything. That wasn't real. It's okay, you know? And I just told him, you know, I'm like, it's okay because that wasn't real. I'm actually really proud of you that you didn't do a damn thing there, because nothing like we ever do ever again will ever be like that. But it was a whole different experience for them to be around all those dogs, be around that chaos, understand all that. It's like he's saying, it's choreographed. You know what I mean? You're trying to put a dog onto something, then like, and snow hunting is kind of like that, I guess, in certain ways. In the perfect conditions of snow hunting, you pull a dog out of the box, you put them on there, and I might ruffle some feathers, but like, and everybody knows, in perfect snow conditions, you got a last night's snow and a lion crossed over on top after it started snowing. You pull that dog out, you put him on that track. He goes and takes off on that track and he catches that lion, and that's how it damn sure should be. Or else, you know, we got other things to talk about. But it's that's how it is. And this whole thing of, you know, a trials, it's choreographed like that, and it's just to get dogs associated, get them understanding, get them doing these things. It's great for the community of bringing folks together in the hound community, but it's not real. You know what I mean? It's not like the real life situations that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. And so that
Jeremy said it right here. The difference is the coon ain't gonna kill the dog.
Yeah,
like
right.
A lion or bear.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Like
and that's why we run more dogs.
Yeah, that makes sense. Your coon dog catches one on the ground, you're gonna have a dead coon, like almost always.
Yep.
And I will say, a coon hunt is not like a field trial or a water race. It is wild raccoons and wild woods. And I would say I would much rather train dogs out here as far as ease of training. You know what I mean? It's not ease of catching. I'm not saying it is not easier to catch lions. It's way harder. But ease of training my dogs, because like we said earlier, like 4 minutes piddling and I've lost.
Yep.
We're out here, 4 minutes don't make a difference because we're going to be all day finding that joker anyways.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You don't have to be as
if you catch in 4 minutes, you're like, damn it, I wish that was a little harder so my dog learned something, you know, honestly.
And I want somebody to tell me what the secret of the snow is, because I tried it once and that was not good.
Derek, when we get a good snow, I will call you and we'll go catch some lions.
We put
turn that Micah loose and we'll let him go catch some cats.
Well, Derek came up to a place he didn't know. In a whole environment your dogs weren't really used to.
They couldn't locate it in the big timber. That's what happened. Yeah. Like, which he lost it. He lost it in a big field. It was wind blowing 35 mile an hour. He just lost it. My blue females, they went blowing their big 1,000-yard circles. One found it, and she couldn't find it. You know, she never saw anything that wasn't up a mesquite tree before. So it's these, you know, trees go to the heavens. She couldn't locate it. And we just, you know, got cold and wet for nothing. I thought we were going to go up there and slay one. Joke's on me.
You know, we make fun of it. And, you know, I seen Jeremiah like, wait a minute, because he's a snow hunter. But I think it's preference. I'm in the snow, and I haven't hunted snow in a long time. And I just, I should be taking my pups under game, getting them out to the game. Yep. Because once you get them,
it is fantastic for puppies to get them to see game.
Really if we get snow this year, I will be to try it harder.
Yeah, give me a call when we get one, or I'll call you when we get snow, because I'm up here in the snow country. So I'll call you when we get snow, Derek, and we'll meet up and we'll go catch a lion or something.
Awesome, because I want to get this guy, and I got another like across, and I'm hoping if I get lucky, I'll have another one in October. She'll be young still. I'm trying to save my shekels, and hopefully she don't sell anytime. But Alex has one that I'm trying to buy if I can pile up all my pennies into a big enough mound and try to meet up and get it. But hopefully, because I think they can do it. I know he's caught the only big tom I ever caught. He caught him by himself. He winded him and then went in there and bushwhacked that joker. And I was going to kill him, but when I get almost to where I can see him, he is up in the tree with him trying to eat the sucker, and the joker jumped out and then went up and over the mountain and bluffed us out. And I was like, I'm done. We're really far from the truck, so we gave up goat on that. But you know, I just really believe they can do it, and they're not going to trail them 3-day-old ones. I know that, But the way I hunt, I'm hiking up canyons. There's so many lions in these places. We haven't had any trouble getting one going. And I know it ain't cold because the oldest thing he's ever run it was yesterday. It was yesterday's lion. Guy saw it, called me, went up, and I wish I would have known that we could hunt private land if it wasn't posted. I didn't know that at the time. So we hit private, and I stopped them, and we went right to the river. I think we would have caught her in the river. I think it was a female, but I'd like to have caught her anyways.
Yeah.
But no good. But we'll, again, he just had his second birthday in February, and the rest of them haven't had their second birthdays yet.
You got time.
Yeah,
man.
They're young.
I would sure love to have a rendezvous smack dab in the middle of the United States. A full united.
Well, that'd be Kansas, and there's nothing to see there, Chris.
Well,
flat. I know. I've been to Kansas. There's nothing.
Well,
but
I mean, we go
deer and
coon
wolves.
hunt everywhere, but ain't nobody want.
I would just love to get everybody together and just round table campfire it, just to tell the stories of, compare the differences, because it is a big difference. It's
I talk about
bear hunting, lion hunting, coon hunting. It's a huge difference.
Even with my hunters, that's a big thing that I talk about is the end of the day is met with a campfire and good stories. And that's where camaraderie is met. That's where we all mesh together. Nobody's really, everybody's just sharing damn good stories and doing all these things that, especially after a good day of hunting and a good story shared, there's something special about being around the campfire when it happens. And that's why I can't wait for the rendezvous for that. I cannot wait till we can all sit around and just everybody pull out their muck boots and all the bullshit comes out. And we all just start talking all the trash that, of all the things that have happened over the last, year of our lives or whatever it may be, of different hunting stories and stuff. The campfire camaraderie is something really special, I think, especially in the hound hunting community. And you even hear those old stories of Ben Lilly, of when he would just show up to somebody's camp right at as soon as it was getting dark, because he saw a campfire, and they'd all hear stories about him, and he'd be gone before the sun even came up out hunting, and it's like something cool about that, something that brings us all together right then and there, that I cannot wait for us all to have. That's going to be a really cool time.
I can't wait.
Yeah, this rendezvous is going to be something that I think is going to be going on for a long time. It's going to be an interesting thing that, Chris, I don't think you realize really what you started. It's kind of like when we had Trey and Wade on, and they were saying, hey, are we going to be doing this when we're 80? I think, you're going to be doing it when you're 99 and you got, 27 kids, Chris, and we're all going to be, still in
life number 11.
Yeah, we're all going to be, still in our 50s and whatnot. But it's gonna be great, and I think it's something that is really important. It's super important for us to get together. It really is. As much as us, and talking with some guys that at that Horses, Hounds, and Mules, some of these older guys that, when you hear the older guys saying how important it is for us to start contributing into these things, you realize they know. They've been around for 40 or 50 years doing this. They've been around the block. They've seen the ups and downs and lefts and rights of it all. And when you got these guys saying, hey, it's important for us to get together, contribute, shake hands, throw in, a dogger here for a sale, throw in a mule here for a sale, even just be there to shake hands. That's important, man. We're a small community as far as the percentage of the United States goes. We are a very, very, very small fraction, but we have a lot of passion within all of us. There's a lot of guys that would go to the grave for their dogs, 100%. I guarantee it. And I know most of the people who listen on this podcast tonight would do that without a doubt in their mind. And it's important for us to be there. So if you can be there, please be there. I cannot wait to just shake everybody's hand, sit around, laugh, share a beer and a story, smoke a cigar, eat Chris's 12-year-old bear meat, laugh, shut our brains out, whatever it may be. It's just, it's.
Hey, I'm bringing Jay Johns. I'm bringing Jay Johns, so you guys are safe.
Yeah. Hey, look, it's important for us to all be there and contribute. And I think it's going to be, it's the, like, Dustin said something to me when we were on our drive to the Horses, Hounds, and Mules that really stuck with me. That if you call upon the hound community, they will be there for you.
Yes, sir.
Anybody ever goes through any type of, thing in their life where they run into a trial or a tribute that makes them have to call on help for people. They got people that get injured, or, life's expensive these days. Everybody steps up to help out in any way they possibly can. And this is a really tight-knit community, as spread out as we are, and as, kind of individualized as we are. I cannot wait for us all to get together and be in the same place and be able to shake hands and have a good old time. And Chris is going to be my backup singer and everything like that after I pull out the guitar. Yeah. It's going to be a good time. I'm just so damn excited about it, you guys. I really can't wait.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a short few weeks away, and me and my wife have been talking about it for the last month and a half about getting everything together and doing everything we can to try to, make this a really good and just prosperous event for everybody that we all feel like, we want to go back to year after year. It's kind of funny, like Jeremy and I don't know each other, and we talk through Messenger and stuff like that all the time through the podcast. And I like just to, get to shake his hand, and a guy from a couple, 3 states away, is going to be here hanging out. It's just, I don't know. Something about that is pretty damn powerful and cool to me.
Very
that
cool.
We can draw everybody into the same place at the same time, doing the same thing, and we're all like-minded people, and just have a damn good time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
that's a good note to end on the night. God dang.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I know I got a little bit deep into it, but it's just,
I know.
It gets me excited. I get really excited when I think about the hound community and what we can do, and like how many people really are. We're the most passionate hunters in the freaking nation. Nobody has to put 365 days into something to go hunt it other than hound hunters.
Every day you have to take care of your hunting gear, which
every single day. There's not a day that goes by that we don't.
You don't put the dogs up for a year and pull them back out. Yes. I wish I could just put them up and then not have to feed them and then bring them back and then go hunt.
Don't work that way. Yeah. Throw a little bore tube down it and rinse it out, and it's good to go. Don't work that way.
It's dogmen and falconers. That's it. Nobody else.
Yep. That's right. We have to put our heart and soul into this every day. And, for us to all now in the time that we really need to be coming together, because we have a fight on our hands, folks. Like, we really do. And being on the offense is a hell of a lot better than being on the defense. And the way we get on the offense is just all getting on the same damn team and being together and doing things like that and contributing, and I know Chris reaches out a little bit here and there, and he's not the greatest at asking for money, because I don't think any of us are. It's not an attribute that we're built with. We're proud people.
But goes back up to what Casey said, the pride of men.
It is. It's the fall of us. But it's like, at the end of the day, if you can contribute to what we've got going on out here, what Chris has built, and you guys, like, I know Chris don't talk about it much, but this is a lot of time out of his day just thinking about different ideas to raise money, to get these things going, to put the ball in motion in the right direction. So if you can contribute anything, and I put this out many times, time, effort, or money, contribute one of the three, because there's some of us that are contributing all three. We have to contribute one of the three, all of us. If you can give your time, please do. If you can give some effort in posting things, sharing things, if that's all you can really do, please do it. If you can give money, please do it. I know we're all tight in this world. It's the most expensive time we've ever lived in. But if you can do it, please do, because it's going towards an effort that's going to make you be able to do the thing that you love most. And there's some folks that are really trying to put their backbone to it. And, there's these guys like, Chris doesn't have to do this, man. I mean this from the heart, and I truly, Chris asked me to come and kind of step along this, here and there and contribute where I can. And I'm trying to do the best I can, but I'm only one person. Chris is only one person. Derek's only one person. Benny and Dustin are only one person, individually. And we've all got to spread out and try to reach as far as we possibly can. We all know somebody that's willing to take care of, somebody. They all have, everybody knows a philanthropist somewhere in this world that's looking to kind of chuck their bucks in a good way. And what better than doing it for a group like us, So
absolutely.
I can't wait to see everybody at the horses, or at the rendezvous, rather, the Arizona Houndsman Rendezvous.
Yes,
bring your horses, hounds, and mules, and bring some cash. And if you're looking to buy a dog, buy a dog. If you're looking to buy a mule, talk to the right folks. And otherwise just eat some good food and enjoy the company. And I think it's going to be a really, really good time. So if everybody can get out there, please do it, because we're going to have a ton of fun. And like I said, I'll be there on Wednesday with my wife, and we'll be making up food and doing what we can. And, you guys just come out and enjoy the time.
Yeah, Brandon's singing. He's singing all the way up till Saturday.
Yeah. After about a third of a bottle of Woodford, I'll be right into the guitar. We're good to go.
If you hear that, he's going to be singing just in about an hour.
There we go.
I appreciate you guys coming on, and I do appreciate what everybody does. I've appreciated, even the people that only gave $10. That's just a big deal. That $10 stacked on top of $10 on top of $10.
What did Dan Gates say? If everybody gave $1, what I mean?
Every hunter gave $10, we'd have $10 million. And people spend Starbucks, cigarettes, cigars.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a massive contribution, guys. Like, truthfully, just a few bucks here and there, it adds up so fast. And we got enough people around listening. We can get this movement moving, and we are a vital importance to the entire ecosystem, and I know Jared's not on here tonight, but I want to share a little bit of, something that he had an experience with. They caught a lion this last week, and
nice one. Oh
yeah, very nice one. Very
good
nice
lion.
Cat. Very, very nice lion, and like, those dogs, and God, those boys are brave going into that mine shaft and everything. And that lion had stacked 3 sheep on top of each other and killed 2 more in the area. That's over well over $100,000 in value right there to the folks that are working at the Wild Sheep Foundation trying to put sheep on the mountain. And those boys did that because they love what they do right there. And that's a huge, huge statement to what we do. What we do as houndsmen, controlling these predators that are taking out these wildlife. And that's where, I try to go to all these banquets that I can and talk with everybody that I can. And I'm very, very fortunate to have my wife as a connection to some of these folks that are higher up. But I try to make it known everywhere I go how vital houndsmen are to the entire hunting ecosystem. We have a huge part, and, it's only going to get better with the tighter we get and the bigger our community grows. So, it's going to be awesome. And Juliana will have Starlink out there, so I'm sure there'll be some lives.
I'll have Starlink
there. Yeah.
We get Brett out there. He'll have his Starlink. And we'll probably do a live. We did a live last time. We had Joe Hott on there, and it was just great. It was great. Brett has all the stuff.
I'm just going to sit back and listen because I talk too damn much. So I'm just going to sit there and listen to all
these guys. Why I didn't even have to pay him to come on and do this. He goes.
Well, hopefully we get some great folks that are going to be there, and everybody can share some stories and stuff. But I'm just really looking forward to the campfire time and the time that we get with everybody. And man, it's going to be awesome.
Yes, sir.
There we go.
Yep. So, all right, guys. Well, I appreciate everybody, being here tonight and listening to all my crap. And I know Benny and Dustin had to cut out early, but hey, thanks, y'all.
They both Irished us out, didn't they, tonight?
Yeah, they did. Well,
they did.
Yeah.
And this so all these go on to podcasts on Freecast, and if you go to any podcast, they're everywhere. Apple and Spotify are the number one. That's what everybody listens to. So, and I usually we'll download this tomorrow, get it put on, and it will come out Friday morning. Plus, and I think I did forget to upload a Dale Lee for this morning, number 9, and I thought maybe I missed the thing, but we got a bunch of Brett Vaughn interview stories and tales on YouTube. You can go check his channel out. He has all the interviews. I've been taking those, putting them on for the people who can't sit and watch YouTube. They're in their trucks. Good proc. There's a lot of good old timers. We just released the Warner Glenn one. That's one of the best Warner Glenn ones I've heard in a long time.
Those are my favorite things to listen to when I'm riding around on my mule. I put it in my little pocket on my shaps and listen to it while I'm riding around until the dogs open up, and it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So go check us out there. Go to azhhr.com. Buy your dinner tickets. Trying to get them done by the 15th so she can get her food order. That's another people right there we're going to thank. Like they go out of their way, and that's Diana and Casey Fair. And if you guys want to sit around and listen to Casey tell us tons of lies about line hunting, they'll be there. 10% of a lie, there's truth. 10% of truth in every lie. Just remember that.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure there are going to be a lot of people there. We got a guy from Texas. I don't know who he is yet, but he hunts over there in Texas. I'd love to get
AZWDA. Go to azwda.com if you want to, if you'd like to donate. Like we said, a couple bucks goes a long ways, guys.
Yep.
If everybody donates a couple bucks, we're rocking, and we're trying to get on the offense this year. So, and that takes money, and it's just being blunt as it can be without, and I know everybody likes it straight in this community. So we need money in order to do the things we're doing, and we got some really, really good plans in the mix for this year. We got some good offensive plans to make some things happen for us, but we got to move forward financially to do that. And so we're calling along the hound community, guys. Like, we want to be in front of this instead of behind it. Like, it hit Colorado hard. It hit us this year out of the side, and we were able to, derail it before it came to, needing financials, but they're not giving up. So
no, this will be a fight for the rest of our lives, you guys.
Absolutely. We're the low hanging fruit. Yeah. We're the low.
What do they say? Guys. They only have to win once.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. We got to keep defending ourselves over and over again. So do what you can, and we love every one of you for it, and we appreciate it, and we can't wait to see you guys in August. I guess it's about August tomorrow, isn't it? So,
and we're giving stuff away. We're giving stuff away.
Yeah.
Not only you're donating, we got a custom watch. We got all that Warner Glenn paraphernalia.
Yep.
So, and then we're about to do another Alpha giveaway. So, and an XL. So, probably start next week. We only got like 3-4 weeks to the rendezvous. So we're, you know what I mean? We're trying to
tighten up here on the rendezvous, but everything else is coming along.
And anybody, if you ain't got dogs, you're listening, get you a tag, come out. Somebody will take you out and try to get you under something. Come on.
Sure will.
Yep.
All right, guys.
All right, y'all. Take care.
Yep. Safe, fellas.
Bye.